still a young man.
Yeah.
But he was more about toying around with his opponents and kind of being a showboatsman. But now in these last 3 fights that I've seen him, he's been serious. There's no smile. There's no, no like showboating. He's all about boxing and really trying to finish opponent.
Yeah, and looking to add on to his undefeated record at age 24 or 25, and so he still has plenty of time. Heavyweights don't get better until they get older in any case. And Justin, for Nathan Bedwell, a different story. 37-year-old who is a journeyman veteran fighter who has had a little bit of a layoff coming into this fight. And he hopes that he can provide a win that will help him get other fights.
Yeah, well, he said himself that boxing needs guys like me. And look, he's no stranger to facing tough competition. He's done so since his debut. A guy by the name of Sergey Kovalev. And he said, since then, I've never been intimidated or scared by any opponent, and that includes Kuzza. And he plans to kind of box him tonight. And once, like you said, a win could definitely put him right back on that track, get him another fight.
Yeah, I mean, he's looking for interesting matches, and he said, even though he's had this layoff, part of it is he just looks for interesting fights that he can take. This one was offered to him a couple of times in the last year and a half, and now he's accepted it, and we're going to see how it turns out later on. But before all that, we have a full night of boxing, and so with that, we're going to send things up to our ring announcer, Mike Rogers.
Welcome to the Plaza Marriott in Nashville, Tennessee, for the historic and record-breaking 39th installment of Country Box, where music meets boxing. Presented to you by Jimmy Adams Promotions, and a special thanks to Edward Crow and Murder Cigars. We want to welcome our newest viewers watching us Triller TV on the Country Box YouTube channel, Country Box 24/7 TV, and CountryBox247.com. But before the fight start, we want to welcome the stage a true outlaw. He opened for country legends like Alan Jackson, Dustin Lynch, and the Charlie Daniels Band, and has been one of Rolling Stone's top 10 new country artists you need to know. Please welcome James Carruthers.
We're just some good old boys, never meaning no harm. These all you ever saw, been in trouble with the law since the day they were born. Straightening the curve, flattening the head. Someday the mountain might get 'em, but the law never will. Taking away the only way they know how. That's just a little bit more than the law would allow. Making their way the only way they know how. That's just a little bit more than the law would allow. Just some good old boys, wouldn't change if they could. Just fighting the system like a true modern day Robin Hood. It's awesome to be here at Plaza Mariachi Country Boxing. We're going to kick it off with a little bit of Johnny Cash music, going out to all the married folks out there. This one's going out to you. It's called The Ring of Fire. Is a burning flame, and it makes a fiery ring. Bound by wild desire, I fell into a ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames, they went higher. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire. The taste of love is sweet when hearts like ours meet. I fell for you like a child. Oh, but the fire went wild. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames, they went higher. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire. So, the music kicks things off with James Carruthers, and that was a great performance. And now we're getting ready for the boxing part of Country Box. And for that, let's take a look at who's coming up here. Russell Harris and Carson Brown. Russell Harris, a veteran. Carson Brown making his pro debut tonight to kick our show off. And we'll look at the numbers for these two fighters. Russell Harris, as I mentioned, a veteran who is coming in to this match with with more experience certainly than Carson Brown, and he'll be looking to put that stamp of experience on this fight. And both these men trying to make a mark here in our first matchup.
Yep,
Carson Brown from St. Louis coming in here for his pro debut, and we're going to get to look at him in just a moment or two. And so in this fight, Russell Harris, who we saw, well, let's go up to Mike Rogers right now.
Now entering the ring in the blue corner, fighting out of St. Louis, Missouri, Carson Brown. Now entering the ring out of the red corner, fighting out of St. Louis, Missouri, Russell Harris.
And now Russell Harris will enter the building here. Russell, a 9-3 veteran with 9 KOs. 35-year-old from St. Louis, Missouri as well. A battle of the Archway City here tonight. And there are the numbers for these two fighters. And you see that, well, we don't have all the information for Carson Brown, but we know he made the cruiserweight level limit, and that's good.
Ladies and gentlemen, our first fight of the evening is scheduled for 4 rounds in the cruiserweight division, and it's presented to you by Jimmy Adams Promotions. We would also like to recognize Murder Cigars by Edward Crow. Murdered Cigars designed for mellow and full-bodied smokers alike. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, making his pro debut. He weighed in at 182.2 pounds from St. Louis, Missouri. Please welcome Carson Brown. And in the red corner, weighing in at 188 pounds, fighting out of St. Louis, Missouri, with a professional record of 9 wins and 3 defeats, and all 9 victories coming by the way of knockout. Please welcome Russell, I Am Rocky Harris.
All right, guys, we went over all the rules in the back. Let's keep it clean. Listen to me at all times, okay? Touch them up. Good luck. God bless you both.
So we're set to go in our first matchup here on this Country Box edition. Veteran against a young man who is making his very first start as a professional, a 4-round cruiserweight battle. Harris has won all his fights by knockout. And he's hoping for short night's work because he already has a fight scheduled for March 23rd in St. Louis. So yeah. He's hoping he doesn't have to go too long on this one.
Carson's looking to throw off those plans a little bit.
Yeah, a young man making his pro debut from St. Louis. He's going to have a big height advantage over Russell Harris.
Brown comes in, lands a little short right hand. Now Brown is coming in and he's not wasting any time. We'll see how he does on the inside here.
Also, one thing what Brown is doing, he's ducking his head when he's throwing his punches. You can really get caught with the uppercut. But again, that's a lot of the, just being a rookie or a newbie.
It's a tough assignment for him against an experienced fighter in Russell Harris, who has fought some very good fighters. And early on, we can see the issues that Carson Brown is having. And Russell Harris has a great right hook. He's a very good inside fighter, just a solid technician.
Yep, and he's got that lead hand in front. He's a southpaw, but he is a dominant righty. And as you mentioned, Albert, Carson Brown, when he goes and lands, he either ducks his head or he leaves his head straight up in the air. So we'll see if a counter lands for Harris at any point here.
Like a lot, you see a lot of guys that, at pro debuts, if they didn't have, an extensive time in the, in the amateurs, they're thinking this is a street fight.
Big right hook by Harris. That's his calling card, and he's going downstairs to the body as well. He's also a good body puncher. So for Carson Brown, a tough baptismal in round 1. We're halfway through this round.
And, when you're doing that, boxing is not street fighting. And you got to learn there's a big difference in it. And what's this?
Well, here comes Harris now ripping to the body and the head, and Carson Brown in some real trouble here in round number 1. And therefore, he may think about stepping into this one. Yeah, Brown just doubled over, not able to defend himself.
Got to learn how to take a knee.
Yeah, this might be,
And that's it. So, our first fight, a quick ending, as young Carson Brown has a lot of problems with the veteran Russell Harris. For Russell Harris, his 10th win as a professional, kind of a placeholder win for him in which it sets him up to. He's been busy, he's 35 years old. He's been busier now and has been, trying to push himself forward. And here's some of the action.
Yeah, you'll see Brown right here. He just has no really clue in his young boxing debut how to get out of that corner, how to tie him up. Just doubled over. Didn't like those body shots, and that was that. The ref took a close look right there and kind of found out that Brown had nothing coming back, and he called it off right then.
It's a good stoppage. Good stoppage. Again, like I said, it's not street fighting. This is boxing. This is a technique to it.
Yeah, Russell Brown clearly not ready, really, and certainly not ready to face a veteran like Russell Harris, who has great experience and has been in with some very good boxers during the course of his career. So Russell Harris will get his 10th win as a professional, and I believe, well, as soon as they're ready, we'll get the official verdict from Mike Rogers.
Make sure they have the scorecards.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by technical knockout at 2:31 of the first round, out of the red corner, Russell Harris.
So Russell Harris gets himself a win, and he can march off on to his March 21st fight in St. Louis, knowing that he did not have to expend a lot of energy here, and he's ready to continue. And for Carson Brown, he'll have to retool things in the gym, and they'll have to see about getting him some competition that more appropriately fits his skill set at this point. And we got more boxing, and we're going to keep things moving along. Devin Lee and Aila Mosquita coming up, and this fight features a really, really good pro prospect in Devin Lee against a veteran in Mosquita.
You know, at least you have a veteran in Mosquita, so it's going to be an interesting fight to challenge him.
It should
20
indeed.
KOs.
Well, let's go up to Mike Rogers.
And now entering the ring in the blue corner from Brazil, Elio Biro Mosquita.
We're supposed to have the tape of the tape right up.
And there's Mosquita, the veteran from Brazil, who comes in with a 22-21-1 record. And it's fascinating. We'll delve into that and how that was achieved, because it's pretty interesting.
Now entering in the red corner, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, Devon the Service
Listen, can I turn on my
Lee.
And here comes Devon Lee, a young man who is 9-0, living in Las Vegas now, and from West Covina, California. And he's coming in off almost a 2-year layoff. He beat Rondell Hubert by unanimous decision over 8. And that had come after a 5-year layoff from the sport. But he is a prospect certainly to watch. And there you see the tail of tape on these two men. You see the height advantage that Devin Lee has, and some age advantage as well. And we're going to see how these guys play out.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next fight of the evening is scheduled for 6 rounds in the lightweight division and is presented to you by Jimmy Adams Promotions. I want to recognize Murder Cigars by Edward Crow, an easy body experience designed to pleasure mellow and full-bodied smokers alike. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He weighed in at 146.8 pounds, fighting out of Brazil. He's a 44-fight veteran with 20 victories, coming by way of KO. Please welcome Elio Biro Mosquita.
Can you tell him that's what we should do?
And in the red corner, weighing in at 146.6 pounds, with a professional record of 9 wins, no defeats, and 7 wins coming by way of knockout, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Please welcome Devon the Service Lee.
Okay, so I'm going to tell Mike to not come to you in between fights. Just after the decision, just go up to there, because we did discuss the
Okay, guys, we went over everything in the back. Listen to me at all time. Keep it clean. Touch them up. Good luck. God bless.
So we're set to go in this 6-round battle between Devin Lee and Aila Mosquita. Elio Mosquita.
Now, you mentioned that layoff, but Devin Lee, 6 of his 7 stops have come in round 1, so be on the lookout right here.
Yeah, he could get the job done early. And Mosquita lives by the sword or dies by the sword.
Yeah.
20 of his 21 wins have come by stoppage against lesser opponents, but 18 of his losses, of his 21 losses, have come by being stopped. And as you point out, Justin, Devin Lee has power, and he gets off to a quick start usually.
Yeah, and one of those losses for Mosquita is actually none other than Shakur Stevenson way back in 2018. So
yeah, that's
with a pretty good name right there.
Yeah, he's faced a lot of veterans, but outside of Brazil, he's not performed too well. Devin Lee, working with David Anthony's group in Las Vegas, his management group, trained by Conwell Goodman, and he's a really talented young man who has had his layoffs, as we mentioned, from the sport, but is committed now to trying to get some things done. And he's banging away against Mosquita. Body work and head work.
Yeah, he's done a nice job going down there with the body, and there's a strong jab.
So a jab sends Mosquita down here in round 1.
Like I said, I wonder if Mosquita is thinking that he's outmatched already. But because like everything that Devin Lee throws is he's throwing with intention to hurt.
So a knockdown here in round number 1 for Devin Lee, and Mosquita is on his heels already.
Yeah, and Devin Lee, as you saw right there, he dropped him with the jab, and Mosquita kind of grabbed his nose, so that was a good one square on the nose, but he's done a nice job shooting the body as well.
Big right, overhand right by Devin Lee, and Mosquita just covering up, pretty much no offense. He tries an overhand right there. He's going to have to do something. There's under a minute left to go here in round number 1. Big right hand by Lee. Curves around the guard.
Yeah, that's one thing that Lee does really well is he uses his length, and he could kind of go around that guard, like you said, with those looping shots, especially that right hand, and then he'll loop it down to the body as well.
You know, one thing when he gets a little older and he starts fighting a little more mature and better guys, he's going to get caught with some of those shots. I mean, he's leaving his face wide open.
Yeah, well, sometimes he jumps in kind of recklessly. Now he is 31, but we'll see how Mosquita does right here.
Mosquita goes down not from a punch, but doesn't look like he can continue. Some indication that he may have hurt his jaw or something. So
grabbing that nose earlier on that jab knockdown.
Oh, look at that! Look at that knot on his eye.
So yeah,
right there, headbutt.
Yeah, it looks like a headbutt. Look, check out.
Yeah, right under. He's got a little.
May have been a clash of heads. Now, if it was a clash of heads, in theory, this could be a no contest.
In theory, yes.
Yeah, in theory. I say in theory after 45 years of announcing boxing. But the question is, did they rule it a headbutt? Let's see if we can discern that here as we look at the. Well, that's the earlier. That's the knockdown of the jab by the jab earlier in the round. Let's see if we can figure out. Well, we don't have that. So
you'll see that little knot, but you know, it's boxing, and most guys would probably fight through that at the moment. I have no clue what Mosquita's going through, and I think. Wouldn't be surprised if this is just a first-round stoppage here and win.
Well, we're going to find out. Now, whether the referee ruled that it was a clash of heads or not, we don't know. So we're going to find out the official verdict here in a moment. And for that...
Is he trying to figure out that?
Yeah, Mike Rogers, does he have... Let's see if he has the scorecard.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by technical knockout at 2 minutes and 47 seconds of the first round, improving to 10 wins, 8 wins coming by way of knockout out of Las Vegas, Devon the Servant Lee.
So Devon Lee coming back after a couple-year layoff, gets a win over Mosquita. Now he is... complaining and may have a case that the actual knockdown and knockout came from a clash of heads, which it may have, but he was being dominated in that first round. So in any case, they rule it a technical knockout win for Devon Lee.
I think it was the right call. Definitely a right call.
Well, not if there was a headbutt.
I mean, but the headbutt, but we couldn't even see that. We didn't.
Well, we did, yeah. I mean, the referee didn't rule it, so it is the correct call if he didn't rule a headbutt. So in that case, it does become a technical win, and you see Mosquita still pleading his case, but it is highly unlikely that Elio Mosquita would have won that fight, I think we can all say, but
no wins outside Brazil. So
yeah, and this did not look like it was going to be a win for him for sure. And so we're going to roll on here with more of our boxing here on Country Rocks, a new venue at Plaza Mariachi, which is festive and fun, and the fans here are already excited. We're going to see some fights coming up that will go more than one round, I promise you, and we are pretty much ready to roll on, I believe. And let's go up to Mike Rogers.
Now entering the ring in the blue corner, fighting out of Albany, Georgia, Terry, the Puerto Rican monster, Rasco.
So here comes Terry Rasco, the 36-year-old from Albany, Georgia, who in his last fight lost a 4-round decision to Antonio Soto. That was on December 6th. And how about this? Talk about being active. While he has not fared well in the win or loss column, he had 8 fights in 2025. Unfortunately, he lost them all, but he has been active, that's for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, there's
now entering the ring in the red corner, fighting out of Tignall, Georgia, Khalil, no doubt, Benson.
Well, here comes Khalil Benson, who is at the beginning of his boxing journey with a 2-0 record from Tignall, Georgia, originally from Greenville, South Carolina. Both of his wins have come by, are you ready? First round knockouts. We may not get to round 2. We'll see. And his last fight was in November, on November 10th against Geely Spate. And he will try and see if he can continue that knockout streak going against Rasco.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout of the evening is scheduled for 6 rounds in the super welterweight division, and it's presented to you by Jimmy Adams Promotions. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he weighed in at 158.2 pounds, a veteran of 40 professional fights, fighting out of Albany, Georgia. Please welcome Terry, the Puerto Rican monster, Rasco. And in the red corner, weighing in at 152.6 pounds, fighting out of Tignall, Georgia. He has a professional record of 2 wins, no defeats, and both wins coming by way of KO. Please welcome Khalil, no doubt, Benson.
All right, boxers, trunks are looking good. I'm going to let you work into this area here, okay? Remember, protect yourselves at all times. Listen to my commands at all times. Any questions? Touch gloves. Come out swinging.
So we will kick this one off. It is scheduled for 6 rounds.
We mentioned that 10-loss streak of Rasco. He's right on the ropes right away, but those opponents were 36-5 in that time, so pretty good competition, but looks like he's grabbing a hold of, trying to hold on right now in this first round.
Benson coming out fast. We mentioned he has done well in the first round of his fights previous, and a little awkward action there.
Yeah, I can't see, just watching the last fight with Rasco, where he stood up and really challenged a guy.
Yeah.
He kind of comes on a little bit late, like he's doing right now.
Yeah, and he has been 6 rounds before. The last time he did that was in July 2024. That is Rasco, so he has been that distance. Meanwhile, this is Benson's first scheduled 6-rounder. Right hand from Rasco right there.
Big right uppercut thrown in there, and another right in the hook. Hurts Rasco. Benson trying to keep his streak alive.
Yeah, that one rocked Rasco pretty good, but he did a nice job, kind of tying up and trying to survive, but he's swinging again.
Terry Rasco doing his best to get through this first 3 minutes and actually recuperated fairly well after being hurt badly with that left hook, but is still a halfway through this round. There's a lot of time left in round number 1.
It looks like somebody's bleeding as well.
Yes, I think that is Rasco, and I would believe it's coming out the nose. I can't quite see, but definitely blood. Oh no, it's on the right eye of Benson, it might be.
Yeah, I thought I saw it on Benson.
Yeah, it might be on his right eye from a headbutt or so.
So just over a minute left to go in this round, and it has been a big round for Khalil Benson. And Terry Rasco just trying to get through it. Blood, an issue as well.
Yeah, it looks like it's blood on the left side of Benson's eye as a little bit of a clinch, and as down goes Rasco as a slip.
There may have been, again, heads may have come together, and of course for Benson, the cut could be an issue as we move forward if this fight moves forward.
But, it's like something encouraging. You got a young fighter, it's his 3rd fight, and he's not even bothered by the cut. Like, he's still fighting. We couldn't even tell a difference.
Well, he may feel urgency as well. If it wasn't called a clash of heads, he'd like to get this opponent out of there. Oh, big hook. So a left hook sends Rasco down, and possibly for the count. We'll see.
He gets up. That's awesome.
That 10 seconds clock, he's just got to pretty much get up, and he's got.
So moments left to go here in this round, and Terry Rasco ends the streak of Khalil Benson getting first round knockouts, and now the drama to look in the corner of Khalil Benson, who suffers a very bad cut that we don't know whether it came from a clash of heads or from a punch, and that is significant to know. We didn't see any sign from the referee as to whether that was a clash of heads.
I wonder if it was that one great punch that Rasco landed on Benson.
He did get one shot in there, so I don't know if that caused the cut. It might have. Yes. But if you're Khalil Benson now, and there's Rasco, let's take a look back and see some of the action. This is where he's already cut, and this is where he does a great work again with the left hook and sends Rasco down.
Rasco's so upright right there in the clinch, left his chin up on a platter. But, yeah, I'm not quite sure. Definitely some right hands landed from Rasco, but it has been a little bit of a sloppy fight. So definitely could have been a headbutt. We haven't seen the referee go around and say what it was yet.
Well, if it is not a headbutt, then Khalil Benson, the young man who is 2-0, 24-year-old from Ticknell, Georgia, would love to end things. He's already had a knockdown in this fight so that the cut doesn't cause danger for him.
Yeah, and there's a big right hand right there from Benson, and he's finding he's a big left hook once more, same shot.
So Benson continues his offensive onslaught. The 24-year-old from Georgia looking to score his 3rd straight knockout win. And Rasco in big trouble here in the 2nd round. And the hook has become a weapon du jour for Benson. And there it is again. And another.
Yeah, when they trade those hooks, Rasco has got to get his right hand up, but he takes a knee right here that will be ruled a knockdown.
Definitely a good idea for Rasco to take a break. But we've seen him get our last fight. We've seen him take a lot of hits, a lot of punishable hits. So, for him to still stand up to this right here, it's good to see.
Yeah, he's showing a lot of guts for sure, but he's in trouble. And we're not even halfway through the round, so Benson would love to put an end to this and then go get his cut taken care of.
Yes. Now, as you see, Bosco's taking some great shots to the head, and they are effective, but Benson could go down to the body and really kind of suck the wind out of him.
Good combinations by Khalil Benson. And here in round 2, he continues to rake Terry Rasco, the veteran, over the coals.
I know we haven't, it's only the second round, but I see a difference in Benson's power right now.
Well, he just showed it with another knockdown, second knockdown of the fight.
See if Rasco gets up here.
Yeah.
Nope.
That is it. The fight will be ended, and so for Khalil Benson, another stoppage victory. And even though it included a little bit of a rocky road with the cut over his left eye, he was able to play through that. And he's talking to all four corners of this crowd here at the Plaza Mariachi.
Take a look at these replays right here, and you'll probably see the left hook, I would assume, from Benson. And right here you see him on the inside doing some good work, then going around that guard with the left hook, and he doubles up on it, came back once again with it. Yep. Then you'll see that's when Rasco kind of starts in those exchanges. He kind of drops his hands, and his head's kind of on a platter. Then that body shot right there is what did it. I think it was a little sneaky right hand of the body.
That's what he said. We got to go to the body just to take that energy out, and then you drop it. You can beat on the head, but you hit the body.
Yeah.
The head will fall.
So Khalil Benson gets his third win as a professional, and we're going to find out all the particulars from Mike Rogers.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by technical knockout at 2 minutes and 5 seconds of the second round, advancing to 3 wins, 0 losses, and all 3 wins coming by knockout, Khalil No Doubt Benson.
So Khalil Benson gets the victory. As I mentioned, it's his third. And,
ladies and gentlemen, please welcome once again country music singer James Brothers.
I hear people talking bad about the way they have to live here in this country. Harping on the wars we fight and dragging them out the way things ought to be. Well, I don't mind them switching sides, they're standing up for things they believe in. When they're dogging on my countryman, they're walking on the fighting side of me. Yeah, walking on the fighting side of me. Running down a way of life, our fighting men have fought and died to keep. Hey, if you don't love it, leave it. Let this song I'm singing be a warning. When you're running down my country, man, you're walking on the fighting side of me. I read about some squirrely guy who claims that he just don't believe in fighting. And it makes me wonder just how long the rest of us can count on being free. They love our milk and honey, but they preach about some other way of living. When they're talking on my country, man, they're walking on the fighting side of me. Yeah, walking on the fighting side of me. Running down a way of life, our fighting men have fought and died to keep. Hey, if you don't love it, leave it. Let this song I'm singing be a warning. When you're running down my country, man, you're walking on the fighting side of me. Yeah, walking on the fighting side of me. Running down a way of life, our fighting men have fought and died to keep. Hey, if you don't love it, leave it. Let this song I'm singing be a warning. When you're talking on my country horse, you're walking on the fighting side of me. Yeah, when you're running down my country, man, you're walking on the fighting side of me.
Sending this out to the fighters from Georgia right here, a little fast train to Georgia. Well, on a windy, rainy morning, that's the day that I was born in that old sharecropping one rough country shack. Well, it seemed my mammy left me on the same day that she had me, said she hit the road and never want to look back. I've been to Georgia on a fast train, honey. I wasn't born yesterday. I've got a good Christian raising with an 8th grade education. There ain't no need in y'all to treat me this way. That my grandma rolled expension, that's the reason why I'm standing here today. I got all my country learning from my building and my turn and checking cotton raising hell and milling hay. I've been to Georgia on a fast train, honey. I wasn't born no yesterday. I've got a good Christian raising with an 8th grade education. There ain't no need in y'all to treat me this way. Oh, make it again. It seemed like this makes such a waste of time. And I swear under my soul that when I hear those ages roll, that I know that I am going to get mine. They're mine, all mine. I've been to Georgia on a fast train, honey. I wasn't born no yesterday. I'll get a good Christian raising with an 8th grade education. There ain't no need in y'all to treat me this way. I've got a good Christian raising with an 8th grade education. Ain't no need in y'all to treat me this way. So there ain't no need in y'all to treat me this way.
Yeah. What? Hey! What?
So don't wonder anyway, she can't say that and cry. Hold me another one, I'm finished with the other one, I'm drinking my blueberry pie. Every time we disagree, she was always asking me, are you a man or a mouse? Now that she's gone, she probably thinks I'm at home, just a moping around the house. She probably thinks that she's the one thing I just couldn't get along without. Well, wouldn't it surprise her? I got a sympathizer as long as these bottles roll out. Well, I'm sitting on the bar, she's acting like a darn fool. That's what I've been doing today. Sitting here drinking, trying to keep from thinking I'm losing my troubles away. Well, now I couldn't make her say, so don't got her anyway. She can't say it, I didn't try. Hold me another one, I'm finished with the other one, I'm drinking my blueberry pie.
sit down and talk to her, it always ends up in a fuss. I tried to reason with her right up to the time, and she got on that Greyhound bus. It would be better if I could forget her because she sure forgot about me. And if it takes all night, I'm gonna do it right. I'm gonna say it till I can't see. Well, I'm sitting on a bar, so acting like a girl. That's what I'm doing today. Sitting here drinking, trying to keep from thinking I'm losing my troubles away. Well, I couldn't make her stay, so don't cut her anyway. She can't say I ain't tried. Pour me another one, I'm finished with the other one. I'm drinking my baby goodbye. I'm sitting on the bar, collecting like a girl. That's what I'm doing today. Sitting here drinking, trying to keep from thinking I'm losing my troubles away. Well, I couldn't make her say, so don't cut her anyway. She can't say I ain't tried. Pour me another one, I'm finished with the other one. I'm drinking my baby goodbye. Pour me another one, I'm finished with the other one. I'm drinking my baby goodbye. Pour me another one, I'm finished with the other one. I'm drinking my baby goodbye.
Oh, yes, that's it.
So we're going to continue on here with Country Box as we bring you Deslan Gainza taking on Deshaun Dixon. And we're set to go, so let's go up to Mike Rogers.
Now entering the ring in the blue corner, fighting out of Tennessee, Deshaun, the Blueprint Dixon.
And there's Deshaun Dixon coming in, the fighter from Tennessee, who is 1-0-1. Second appearance on Country Box. He had a draw with Keith Foreman on August 8th of 2024.
And now entering the ring, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, by way of Guantanamo, Cuba, Disla Rivio Mamba Gainza.
Well, here comes Deslan Gainza, who is a 24-year-old from Las Vegas, originally from Guantanamo, Cuba. Coming in after a win over LaVar's Carter, December 2nd here on Country Box.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next fight of the evening is scheduled for 4 rounds in the welterweight division and is presented to you by Jimmy Adams Promotions. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner from Tennessee. He weighed in at 142.4 pounds with a professional record of 1 victory, no defeats, and 1 draw. Please welcome Deshaun, the Blueprint Dixon. And in the red corner, weighing in at 143.2 pounds. He has a professional record of 2 victories and no defeats. Fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, by way of Guantanamo, Cuba. Please welcome Deslan Rivio Mamba Gainza.
All right, boxers, trunks are looking good. Remember, protect yourselves at all times. Listen to my commands at all times. Any questions from anybody? Touch gloves. Come out swinging.
So we're set to go with this battle of welterweights. 4-rounder.
And as you mentioned, both these men have fought on country box before, and Gainza also has a bit of experience in that team boxing league. He is 13-3 in that, and he also has 2 stoppages in that 1-round league.
Yeah, he is. That'll be starting up later this month when Team Boxing League kicks off its 4th season, and his manager, David Anthony, said they want to get him to 8-0 this year in the team boxing, and have him continue on after that season's over, with his regular boxing.
Do we know how many amateur fights that he has, Al?
He was a member of the Cuban. He was a very accomplished amateur in Cuba. He started boxing late at age 18, but he did perform as an amateur with the Cuban, and also then when he came to America, he turned pro.
Yeah, and you can see that Cuban-style boxing. Number one, he's a southpaw right here, and he's doing a good job with that lead right hand double jabbing, and then also coming around with that little right hook as well.
You can tell just being like his record of being only 2-0. It's been his 3rd fight of how polished he is. When we see guys that have been 10 fights and not as looking sharp as Gainza does.
Yeah, and that right hook's a real good weapon. Same with that straight left hand down the middle. But I'll tell you what, Dixon actually looks not too bad himself right now. He's being a little bit overmatched in the hand speed, but Dixon's making a fair account of himself.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the most polished opponents of only 2 fights himself.
Deshaun Dixon, who is coming in off a 17-month layoff. And he is getting nailed with some right hooks by Gainza.
You see that little bit of that pedigree and that hand speed is really coming out. That right hook and straight left hand is landing at will right now for Gainza. Dixon doesn't know what to do.
Straight left hand by Gainza and a right hook.
And that was a shot after a knee right there.
So Dixon down in the 1st round, a theme we've seen tonight.
Keep your hands up.
He should definitely get a stern warning from that.
Blood on the left eye of Dixon from that straight left hand.
Only 20-some seconds left to go here in round number 1, and Deshaun Dixon taking a pounding from Gainza. That'll do it for round number 1.
And as you see, Dixon does have some blood on that left eye. Looks like no doubt, obviously, from that straight left hand. So it wasn't too many headbutts in that round. And you'll see these replays. That is just Gainza coming in with that straight left hand and then that right hook. But right there is how he set it up. Got that outside angle. Got his feet around and then following him as well with that right hook left hand.
Yeah, good, great clean shots that really rocked Dixon. And I mean, Dixon looked sharper in the beginning, but those 3 shots really threw him off his game.
And that footwork too, the footwork that you saw from Gainza, especially in that lefty-righty matchup where he's kind of moving side to side, that's what really makes it hard for Dixon to see where it's coming from.
Al, do you know, did Dixon have any extensive amateur career or not really? Well, you can definitely tell it with our Cuban fighter.
Yeah, Gainza is did well as an amateur. Wasn't on the Cuban team, but he did have that experience, and he is well schooled as a pro. And we are heading into round number 2. Gainza, interestingly, works as a fashion model in Las Vegas as an extra part of what he does in life. So he's an eclectic young man. Right now, he is involved in a firefight in which he is doing most of the fighting against Deshaun Dixon.
Yeah, and Dixon's trying to counter, but I think Dixon's going to have to get to the point where he's going to have to try and be first because he is not quick enough to keep up with the hand speed. and just the all-around footwork that's coming at him from Gainza, especially with that little 2-3.
And Dixon trying to go downstairs to the body.
See one more time right there. That's Dixon waiting and trying to counter, but he's not quick enough to do that. He's going to have to just try and make this an ugly, ugly fight.
Good straight left hand by Gainza.
See a lot of damage on Dixon's face right now. Not only the eye, looks like the bridge of the nose as well.
Now, we said this a couple fights ago. When your opponent can take those headshots, and now, once again, they are very effective, maybe that's when it's time to kind of start digging to that body if you're Gainza. And he's got to be a little careful about overcommitting on those right hooks.
You know, that's one thing you see, like, I would say with young fighters, you know, they want to go for that beautiful head knockout, you know, and instead of like giving, you know, taking what you get as far as he can go to the body some and you know, kind of finish him off that way.
Yep, especially when there's some blood on that eye as well.
A little over a minute left to go here in round number 2, and Deshaun Dixon in so much trouble in round 1 has faced an onslaught here in round 2, but has weathered it a little bit better. And Gainza really landing the right hook, and that combination sends Dixon down again.
You know, that's like the second time, you know, Gainza has hit Dixon when he was down to the knee. The ref hasn't said anything quite yet.
Yep. And right here, you see Dixon's trying to tie up a little bit. We'll see how Gainza is on the inside. This is where he could really start digging to that body. If he could get one of those arms loose, and there he kind of did, right?
Good combinations on the inside by Gainza.
Yeah, that right uppercut right there sneaking in as well, and that left uppercut. That's good to see because he is a lanky fighter, and he takes that step back, and there you see he's really great with that length.
Final seconds of round 2, and Gainza continues the onslaught and just battering Deshaun Dixon. And amazingly, Dixon gets through the second round.
He's got a serious major cut under his right eye.
Then you'll see in these replays that's Gainza doing some good work, getting in and out, and then once again finishing with that right hook, and then that short little left on the inside, and that little left-right uppercut is what sent him down. And as you mentioned, a little sneaky shot after the knee. Now it is boxing, and there was no warning, so no harm, no foul for him there, but something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, because that was definitely the second one for sure.
We are heading into round number 3, and this welterweight battle set for 4 rounds.
Took 4 rounds. Third round.
Yes.
You know, we don't have any gorgeous ring girls to keep us straight here.
There you go.
Now, Gainza does not have a stoppage on his record yet. Just 2-0, both of those being the distance. So he definitely is looking for one right here.
He started boxing at age 18, Gainza, and he had been a soccer player in Cuba, and then came to America, a tough journey through Mexico, and it's rewarding right now for him because he is dominating Deshaun Dixon, and that's called a knockdown. Third knockdown of the fight.
And early in the first or third round, so to see if Gainza can really take advantage of it.
A lot of time left, and for Gainza to try and get his first stoppage.
Yeah, Dixon hasn't quite found anything. He's taken a lot of punishment in there. We'll see if the corner starts to think about, you know, maybe calling it quits to this one. So you hear Dixon's corners yelling, "Show me something, show me something." It looks like the towel's coming in.
Corner's going to stop it.
Yep.
I think it was the right thing to do.
Yep, and right on cue, the corner stops it right there.
So a victory for this young man, a 24-year-old from Guantanamo, Cuba, originally via Las Vegas now, where he is living and working with David Anthony and his group out there.
Probably do a lot of modeling out there as well.
He is, yes. He's been active in that, and it's adding to his resume.
Yeah, we definitely love seeing him, with his skills, and being a young guy, being here on Country Box.
His team, David Anthony, is the coach of the Las Vegas team boxing league, is very high on this young man and feels that he has the goods to become potentially a world champion down the road, and that is not an impossible scenario.
I can definitely see it.
And he gets his third win as a professional, his first stoppage, as you guys pointed out, and he is hoping that will lead to other ones as well. He's sparred with Keyshawn Johnson and Shakur Stevenson, and he's been, doing a lot in boxing to raise his stock, and tonight he does some more with his victory.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner by technical knockout at 1 minute and 3 seconds of the third round, coming out of the red corner, Dixon River Mamba Gainza.
So Dixon Gainza gets that third win, first stoppage, and he will head into the Team Boxing League competition for the next 4 or 5 months in the end of March, with a good feeling about his what has happened.
Good job. I'll see you around.
And we're getting ready to move on in this evening of boxing. And there is the matchup, Kristen Biggs and Keeson Freeman, as they will do battle in a 4-round super lightweight match. And so we are ready to move things up to Mike Rogers, and we will do so now for his introductions.
Now entering the ring out of the blue corner, fighting out of Aiken, South Carolina, Keeson Freeman.
So here comes Freeman, and he is a veteran journeyman in this weight class who is going to try and get a win to help push him forward to some other fights.
Now entering the ring in the red corner, fighting out of Brooklyn, New York, Kristen Slim Reaper Biggs.
And here comes Kristen Biggs, led out by Yoel Judah, the famed trainer of his son Zab Judah and many other top boxers. He is a major name as a trainer in the sport of boxing. Biggs, a 29-year-old from Brooklyn, New York, who is coming in off a more than 2-year layoff. He last won by stoppage against Jose Palmera, and he hopes to get momentum back in his boxing career.
Our next big fight of the evening is scheduled for 4 rounds in the super lightweight division and is brought to you by Jimmy Adams Promotions. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He weighed in at 142 pounds, fighting out of Aiken, South Carolina, a veteran of 23 professional fights. Please welcome Keeson Freeman. And in the red corner, he weighed in at 142.8 pounds, fighting out of Brooklyn, New York. He has a professional record of 7 wins, no defeats, and all 7 wins coming by the way of knockout. Please welcome Kristen Slim Reaper Biggs.
All right, gentlemen and women, over all the rules in the back. Let's keep it clean. Listen to me at all times, okay? Touch them up. Good luck. God bless.
So we're set to go in this one. Biggs, as I mentioned, 29-year-old with that 7-0 record. Every win has come by knockout during the course of his career. And Kuzza Freeman, who's not fought in a year and a half, he lost to Eric Palmer, stopped in the third round in that fight. He won his first four pro fights, Freeman, but then after that the rails kind of came off. He suffered a number of losses and just a couple of wins, so he's trying to right the ship a little bit here.
Yeah, an interesting storyline in this fight is Christian Biggs' brother, Justin Biggs, actually fought Freeman way back in December 2018. He scored a round one stoppage in 2 minutes, 32 seconds. Justin said he's going to try and beat that record tonight, or Christian said it, yeah.
Yeah, his brother Justin is 16-0 as a pro, and that was, as you said, in 2018. And here is history of Biggs' hopes repeating itself.
You can see like Biggs is kind of. Well, I mean, that probably should have been a knockdown because he did land a punch.
It's ruled a slip.
Yeah, but a punch didn't land. It was interesting, but yeah, slip right there, and we'll see if Biggs kind of goes down to that body and test it one more time with that right hand.
We'll find out whether that did have an impact or not on Kuzza Freeman.
And there's a feint knockdown right there. You see those feints from Biggs. Freeman wasn't quite sure what to do. Now we'll see if Biggs is going to come in and try and close this distance at any point here.
Freeman having a lot of issues. I'm not sure why. Now is that? Let's see if that is from a punch, I guess.
Yep.
It's hard to see.
It was a left uppercut.
I think he's might stay down. He's going to probably stay down.
What's the time right here? Does he beat his brother's record?
No. No.
Not quite, I guess. In any case, it's a first-round knockout for Christian Biggs, and it was fashioned in an odd way, but it happened nonetheless. Now,
that was the first one right there.
Yeah, whether something landed there, it wasn't ruled a knockdown.
And we'll see if this is the one where he kind of lands that uppercut while Freeman was bending down, and it is a clean shot. I believe that uppercut landed on the nose, judging by the body language of Freeman.
So, in any case, it is a knockout victory for Christian Biggs, the young man who, as I mentioned, now moves to 8-0. He is a very eclectic young man who has a podcast with his brother called Biggs versus Pigs, and you can watch that on YouTube. So he's got a lot of endeavors going on in his career, and at 29 now he's hoping to get his boxing career back in gear and move ahead in the sport. And for a tough night's work for Kuzza Freeman, obviously.
Yeah, not a great showing for South Carolina, my home state.
Yeah,
but actually, you can see a knot under Freeman's eye, so it actually is a clean.
Yeah, he was hit with something along the way. That's for sure. Yeah. Anyway, Mike Rogers is in the center of the ring, and I believe he's got the particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of that bout was at 1 minute and 49 seconds, a TKO in the very first round. Coming out of the red corner, Kristen Slim Reaper Biggs. And now, welcome to the stage one more time, country music singer James Carruthers.
On the road again. I just can't wait to get on the road again. The life I love is making music with my friends. I can't wait to get on the road again. On the road again. Going places that I never been. Seeing things that I may never see again. I can't wait to get on the road again. On the road again. Like a band of gypsies, we go down the highway. We insisting that the world keep turning our way, and our way is on the road again, going places that I never been, seeing things that I may never see again. I can't wait to get on the road again. On the road again, going places that I never been, seeing things that I may never see again. I can't wait to get on the road again. No, I can't wait to get on the road again. It's a big job getting by with 9 kids and a wife. I've been a working man dang near all my life, but I keep on working. Well, long as my 2 hands are fit to use. I drink a little beer in the tavern and I sing a little bit of them working man blues. Well, I keep my nose to the grindstone and I work hard every day. I may get a little tight on the weekend after I draw my pay, but I go back working. Well, come Monday morning, I'm back with the crew. All of that's true. We get a little wild on Tuesday night and we sing a little bit of them working man blues. Oh, work it out for us, Kevin.
Great set by James Carruthers, as we have heard throughout the evening. I'm Al Bernstein, along with Justin Brown and Albert Hainsworth. And tonight is a night where we've obviously come to a new venue, Plaza Mariachi, where the fans are very enthused. And we've got some fights coming up that we're enthused about as well. And this is a fun venue.
This is a very fun venue. And like if anybody knows Nashville, this has kind of been a staple of Nashville, especially with the Hispanic community, where a lot of people come and hang out, because you see there's a club in the back, there's all kind of different restaurants, so it's always a good time here. And
yeah, it's fun to go somewhere. And tonight, as we move forward with the fights, we got some fights coming up that we're kind of anticipating seeing. One person that we're anticipating seeing is Jet Blackwell, who is a heavyweight who is 6-0-1, trying to make his way, and later on we're going to see him in against the veteran Rydell Booker. And he's a fighter from Northern California who has some potential, because he was a really good amateur champion.
Yeah, and you could tell he has potential because pros are bringing him in for sparring, one of those being Flip Hergovic. So, yeah, they like him because he can move his feet a little bit, and we'll probably see that tonight against, as we mentioned, Booker's a little bit of the older man. But not only that, Blackwell has also sparred with Mike Tyson before that Roy Jones fight.
He's got experience with older men, doesn't he?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, exactly. So it's nothing new really tonight, but we'll see how he does in there, and if he's able to kind of push Booker back like you mentioned in the fighter meetings.
And so we've had fun here. Our thanks to the crew in the truck, which is helping us work through this venue, and we appreciate that very much, as always. And Albert, here in Tennessee, we've seen the boxing fans for this series over the course of this whole series show a lot of enthusiasm. And you've been on the Country Box for a long time, and we're gonna chat more about this later. But I want to give you a shout out for your long service to Country Box and what it's meant to the fans here, and we appreciate it for sure. Well, let's go up to Mike Rogers and get things going.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, one more time, give a big warm welcome to our supporter of the night, Murder Cigars, the smoke that is no joke. And now, entering the ring in the blue corner, out of Dallas, is Ruben Contreras.
So, as we move forward on this 6-round lightweight encounter, which we expect to be a good one, both these fighters, good records, both undefeated and ready to go.
And now, entering the red corner from Las Vegas, Nevada, Jacob Elquez.
And look at the numbers for these two young men, and we see that the numbers are essentially the same in almost every department. And
ladies and gentlemen, our next fight of the evening is scheduled for 6 rounds in the lightweight division, and is presented to you by Jimmy Adams Promotions. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he weighed in at 135.2 pounds. He holds a perfect professional record of 3 wins, no losses, and all 3 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Dallas, Texas, Ruben Contreras. And in the red corner, weighing in at 135.2 pounds, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada. He holds a professional record of 6 wins, no defeats, and 1 draw. 4 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome Jacob Elquez. Somebody's O has got to go. Come on, gentlemen, come to the center of the ring.
All right, guys, you listen. We went over the rules in the back. Listen to me at all times. Touch them up. Good luck. God bless you both.
So we're set to go with 2 young fighters who have not tasted defeat yet. 1 draw on the record of Jacob Cuevas. And Contreras comes in after winning in September 18th of last year in a 1-round knockout over Gerald Hayes. And all 3 of his wins by KO have come within 2 rounds. So he's used to making quick work of things. While Cuevas, his last fight was the only blemishes he had on his record, a draw with Luis Garcia in Mexico. 1 judge gave him the fight, the 6-round fight, by 4 points, but 2 judges ruled it a draw. So we'll see how these men fare this evening.
Yeah, and it's an interesting matchup tonight, one that we're probably looking forward to. Maybe the most one on this card, actually, because they're both undefeated, and tonight's the first time they're both facing fighters with wins as a big right hand comes in from Contreras.
I wish this fight was going a little bit further than 6 rounds, to be honest.
Yeah, both men, and Cuevas has been that 6-round. Overhand right gets there. And Contreras blasted to the head with that overhand right.
Yeah, I think he was definitely hurt because I saw his eye kind of like closing once he once he caught that punch.
Yeah, he took a little bit of the steam on it, kind of rolling with it in that Mexican-style way where you roll with that shot, and his feet look under him a little bit, but as you see, Contreras is trying to fight back. But
so Cuevas, he's got 4 stoppages. Maybe he wasn't considered as the one that was the puncher, per se, in this fight, but he's showing lots of power early in this match.
Yeah, and you see that overhand right coming back in right there, and you'll see right now Contreras is trying to tie up. He's a longer man. He doesn't want to be that close. He kind of wants to stay on the outside.
It's the first country box appearance for Contreras.
I think maybe for both of these fighters.
Yeah, for both, yeah. And you would know, Albert.
35 country boxes.
Now Contreras, if he wants to kind of get back in this fight, he's going to have to use that left hand a lot more, use that jab, and keep Cuevas off him, because right now Cuevas is just walking forward using his own jab right there and pushing Contreras back.
You, Albert, and our fine production crew have done all of these shows and kept this franchise moving along.
Well, I used to be I started out as just being a fan. And then I got offered a job. So.
Yeah, and everybody's happy about that. There's a knot underneath the eye of Contreras from that overhand right by Cuevas. So good round for Jacob Cuevas to start off this fight.
It's a great little, a great first round. Because you could definitely tell that little knot. I was trying to see.
Yeah, you'll see really probably right here. It was that overhand right at the beginning, and I think it was a right hand coming over the top of Contreras' jab, if I'm not mistaken, and that's why Contreras is kind of back down on that jab. And it's the first round. Sometimes, you haven't worked up that sweat yet, and that glove's still kind of fresh, and it could kind of bust up your eye a little bit.
It's a great, a great matchup between these two fighters. Hopefully we can see them even later on in their career, kind of match up again to see how much they've changed.
Yeah, fighters in their mid-20s and meeting at this point when they're both fresh to the sport. Cuevas has extensive amateur experience, fought in the 2021 and 2022 U.S. National Tournament, and has fought some of the very good 140 and 147-pound U.S. amateurs. And Contreras said he saw some of the video of Cuevas and felt he had flaws that he could take advantage of. Well, that hasn't happened yet for him, but we'll see if it does.
Yeah, and Contreras has made a little bit of an adjustment right here, but he just kind of left it right there. He's got to keep his left hand up because, as right there, Cuevas has switched southpaw. I'm not too sure about that. I like him in the righty stance, but that right hand's been landing at will for Cuevas. Good short right hand right there from Contreras coming back in it, and once again, Cuevas answers with his own.
Yeah, you see Cuevas is definitely way more busier and, landing some good clean shots as well.
He's the one that's making Contreras go on the back foot mostly.
Contreras landing a really good left hook downstairs, and Cuevas coming back. Cuevas has been busier in this fight, and that's been one of the things that I think has helped him.
Yeah, he's winning that jab battle for sure, and that's the reason that Contreras has been on the back foot. So Contreras is either going to have to, start kind of moving his feet a little bit more and not really getting so flat-footed and leaving himself open for Contreras or for Cuevas.
Yeah, Contreras is definitely, he had seeing like where his head was exposed for a little bit, so he picked up his hands because Cuevas is
right there.
Wow.
Big right by Cuevas. So Cuevas' his right hand has been a factor in this fight, to be sure. We're a little over halfway through round number 2, and Contreras is trying to get his own left hook into the body and did so a moment ago.
Yeah, you can see when Cuevas comes in and uses that jab, he's got his hands up, he's parrying away that jab coming back at him, and he's also has a quicker jab while doubling it, and that's what's also allowing him so much success, especially with that right hand.
Yeah, Contreras, he definitely got to keep his hands up because with the hand speed of Cuevas, it's landing.
Under a minute left to go here in round number 2 in the scheduled 6-rounder. And there's Cuevas going downstairs, and Contreras as well. Contreras likes to go to the body, and he's tried to do it in this fight and had some success.
Yes. And he has success right at that mid-range, and that's because if Cuevas continues to use that jab of his, he could really take that away. He's kind of abandoning it right now for that left hook that is landing.
You would think Contreras, you look at Contreras, it looks like he has longer arms than Cuevas, and you want to probably fight more a little outside. Now, Cuevas definitely has the hand speed on Contreras, but how keep him at bay and just kind of jab, jab, jab.
So round 2 will come to a close, and for Ruben Contreras, he will see round 3 for the first time in his professional career.
I think his corner should definitely tell Contreras to stay a little bit outside because, with the foot speed, but he should double up his jab to kind of keep Cuevas outside. So you can use your arms instead because now Cuevas is moving in as easy as he wants. He's falling behind the jab, which that should be Contreras should be doing.
Yes, and what you said, doubling up on the jab, that's the key because if he throws one jab, he's a touch slower than Cuevas, and that's what's allowing Cuevas when he sees that jab, he's countering it with the right hand. So he's coming over the top of it. So he's either got to feint that jab, double it, or get that left hand right back up.
And throw it with authority.
Yes, a stick, not a push.
Yes.
We're heading into round number 3 in this welterweight encounter.
Once again, you see that Contreras, he is a bit flat-footed. He needs his feet planted to throw. And right there, he's better coming in. But it's difficult when Cuevas gets that jab going and pushes Contreras back.
Good combination work by Contreras, which we've seen a little more from Cuevas to this point in the fight, but he did a very good job there, and there comes the offense. Not everything landing, but Contreras, the 26-year-old from Dallas, Texas, wants to get his offense going into this fight.
Yeah, like you said, I'm not sure really if any of those landed, but it was good to see him throwing more combinations because that makes it more difficult to counter.
Yes. Get his offense ignited perhaps in this fight. Cuevas again with that excellent jab, and what comes after it? The right hand. That's what's been the case much of this fight.
Yeah, it's definitely the combinations that's been landing. And Contreras, if he wants to have a chance in this fight, he's got to do more of that. and continue with it, not just one or two punches.
Now, what's interesting is this fight hasn't really broken down into the inside game yet. They fought at mid-range for most of it, and it's Cuevas winning it, which we'll see if Contreras, even though he's a taller man, wants to get inside and smother it.
Well, the one thing about Contreras, the outside could suit him because he's tall, but he's a good body puncher, so he might do well on the inside if he can stay there and keep himself busy. We'll see. Halfway through round number 3 in this welterweight encounter. Two fighters who've yet to taste defeat. Only one draw on the record of Jacob Cuevas. And there's the overhand right again by Cuevas. That's been a staple of his attack.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, the taller man, Contreras, he's not really doing all that great from the outside. A couple right hands to the body, but he's got the slower hand, so it's really difficult for him.
Yeah, he's letting Cuevas just charge in. I mean, you should stick him with a couple jabs, and he's trying to counter punch.
That was a perfectly timed left hook right there. Yep.
Yeah, and you're trying to counter punch with a guy that has faster hands with you is not going to work.
Down to about a half minute left here in round number 3, approaching the halfway point of this fight, and Contreras gets in a nice right hand. This has been one of the most competitive rounds of the fight. I think both men have done some good work. Cuevas lands a left hook there.
And there's Contreras coming back a little bit. He's using that jab on the inside a little bit more, a shorter jab, but there's that counter right hand coming back at him from Cuevas.
Yeah.
Cuevas has basically been the more accurate puncher in this fight, even though Contreras has done some good offensive work, and that'll do it for round 3 and takes us to the halfway mark of this welterweight battle. Or lightweight battle, excuse me.
Yep. Interesting fight. Unofficially, of course, I would probably have Cuevas up 3-0 at the moment.
Yeah.
But that was probably the closest, most competitive round. I still think Cuevas landed those good left hooks, especially when he timed them right. About 3 of them.
Yeah, he controlled the round, I thought. But it was we saw a lot more out of Contreras.
He's trying to make that adjustment.
Yeah. He just has to learn. He has to be first. Instead of trying to counter a faster puncher.
He's got to use those feints a little bit, because if he's just going one at a time, he's getting countered.
Yeah.
So you can kind of feint and drop that counter, set the trap for it. Now he's going to have to learn pretty quick, because there's only 3 rounds left in this fight.
Learn on the move.
Well, we'll find out, number 1, whether any of the judges were kinder to Contreras in those first 2 rounds or not, and whether Contreras can mount a comeback here. We're assuming that he might be down on the scorecards, and we're not official for sure. Jacob Cuevas taking in the white, silver trunks, taking on Contreras, Ruben Contreras in the blue, and they have waged a good battle here for us.
And there's Contreras on the inside right there. He's snuck in a good right hand, and he's also made an adjustment, really sticking that jab to the body a little bit more. And you see right there, that's what I was talking about, where Cuevas tried to time that left hook, but nothing came out of Contreras. That's when you can kind of counter him on that.
And Cuevas is switching to left-handed a little bit more in this fight. He did it a little bit earlier, and now he's using it to vary his attack.
Yeah, that's a common thing right now, especially in the amateurs, and I wouldn't really fix what's not broken. He's got a great jab. It's working. I want to flip it to southpaw at the moment. And we'll see if it works for him, though.
Well, whichever side he fights from, that jab is a staple, and he continues with that. We're approaching the halfway mark in this 4th round, and Cuevas has been busier in general in this round than Contreras. And a reminder, Contreras has never gone this distance. Cuevas has gone 6 rounds twice already in his career.
Good little right hand from the body from Contreras. Now, and you see right away, that's when Cuevas switches right back to righty.
That's why you got to keep finishing up.
Contreras with a nice right hand there.
And that looked like it actually might have did something.
Holding on a little bit on the inside. We'll see if it had an impact. It may well have. And we've still got over a minute left to go here in this 4th round. This crowd getting excited about it. And Here comes Cuevas back again.
I really liked what Contreras did on the inside over there. I wish he didn't take that step back and just kept him pinned on the ropes, because at the mid-range, like the whole fight, he's been losing. But on the inside, he's doing well.
And he was busy, so that made that made him like kind of cover up a little bit, and he started firing off.
Well, in a round in which Jacob Cuevas had really controlled the first maybe 2/3 of it, Ruben Contreras had a very nice sequence a little while ago, and he continues to work on the inside. Is that enough for him to steal a round? And we've only got seconds remaining here in round number 4.
Yeah, the key for me to Contreras right now is do not take a step back. You got to do everything in your will to push this man backwards, and you got to get yourself forward, because he's not doing great moving back.
Well, that'll do it for round number 4, and we move forward in this excellent lightweight matchup.
You can tell, like right there, like Cuevas was definitely like a respected Contreras for that last round, because Contreras actually came out and threw some good combinations and tied him up. But when, like you said, Dustin, whenever he backs up, then he gets susceptible to the hand speed.
Correct, 100%. Now, I don't know if I would really give that. I think I would give that one to Contreras, but it might be one of those situations where it's the best round he had. And now judging's supposed to be like a roulette reel where it's no memory, but I don't know. I think that one was. I would give that one to Contreras.
Well, it's definitely the closest round in the fight. There's no question about that. And could have been the one that could go either way. And so Contreras goes into round number 5. As I mentioned, he has not been this far into a fight. Cuevas has twice been 6 rounds. One was the draw that he had. And that one is the only blemish on his record. That was with Luis Garcia, and that could have been a win for him. One judge had it a 4-point win for him. So we head into the 5th round, and these two guys are battling it out.
I like what Contreras did right there, actually, too. He kept his right hand up while jabbing with Cuevas, and even though he was a slower man, he timed it, landed a good one. But here comes Cuevas doubling and tripling with the jab.
That's why Contreras, he wants to, throw the jab to the body, but like double up the jab to the body if you can. It's just like the one punch, and then when like Cuevas is coming with like 2 and 3, that's what it's like a little bit more flashy to the judges.
Yeah, and he's fighting very upright as Contreras and flat-footed one more time here. So go forward. Don't go backwards if I'm his coach, but I'm not, obviously. I would like to see Contreras just push it forward as much as he possibly can. Cuevas switches to lefty again. I'm not that big of a fan of it. Allows Contreras in.
Minute gone here in round number 5. And this one a little more back and forth, as was the previous one.
We spoke to Contreras at the fighter meetings, too. He used the term that you're not quite a fan of Al, the B-side, but he said, I am not a B-side. I never want to be the B-side again, and I'm going to prove it tonight. So we'll see if he digs deep in that tank here.
There's nothing wrong with being an underdog.
No, just it's wrong to call him the B-side. That's the part that annoys me. But yes, of course, and sometimes you are the underdog and you do want to prove yourself. And Cuevas staying with that lefty stance a little bit. Here comes Contreras ripping those combinations, and he has got Cuevas' attention and then some. And again, over a minute left to go. So we know Contreras' power early in fights is effective. Tonight we may find out whether it's effective later in fights.
Yeah, and as we bring up that B-side again, that probably brings a lot of fuel to him, that could fuel him to carry that power and really dig deep for it. Now, I do not want to see Cuevas switch to southpaw one more time. It's allowing Contreras success. Good right hand on the way out.
Yeah, Contreras trying to get that right hand in. And the body work of Contreras, very effective. And he's on the inside, he's just doing an excellent job. And this is by far Contreras' best round of the fight.
Yep, he found out that he's better off inside the pocket, even though he is the bigger man. So don't take that step back. You got to keep forward.
Yeah.
So round 5 passes into the night, and
Close
it was
here.
a good one.
It'd be close, yeah. Depends on how how the judges scored round 4. All right, now I would say I'll give that to Contreras round 5.
I'm with you. I think this is a big round 6 right here.
Well, a lot's going to depend perhaps on this round. The first 3 rounds may have gone to that man, Jacob Cuevas, or maybe not. And round 4 was a close one. Round 5 was a big one for Contreras. And who knows what round 6 will bring. And, of course...
Yeah, maybe the O's don't go.
Yeah.
That's a possibility.
It could very well happen. Or could Jacob Cuevas be facing another draw?
Yeah.
He hopes not. And, but either way, it's an entertaining scrap. We've enjoyed it. And we're happy that you're watching us. Al Bernstein, along with Albert Hainsworth and Justin Brown, and our
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 6th and final
Country Box, another edition at a new location, Plaza Mariachi. So the final round in this lightweight encounter, Jacob Cuevas in the silver, and in the blue it is Ruben Contreras.
And Contreras right now is, as you see, he's kind of finally getting aware of that jab that's coming at him from Cuevas and taking a step back or standing his ground at points and landing his own low left hands. Tripling the jab there, Albert.
Yeah, triple the jab. That's good. He's like doing more than one.
Right hand downstairs by Contreras.
Don't step back.
Now you'll see when Cuevas does jab in with that and he goes down to the body, that's when an overhand right coming from the taller man can be really hard to see, and there it almost was right there. And you'll see Cuevas said it was behind the head, but he is ducking down into it.
Well, the beginning of round 6 demonstrates that there's no question this fight started to change in round 4 when Contreras got much more competitive in that round, and now his momentum is continuing here. Good. A counter left hook from Cuevas got in, but it didn't stop Contreras from his offensive attack. And there's the Cuevas right. We haven't seen the Cuevas right hand for rounds.
Yep.
And there it is again.
But again, he's landing that punch because Contreras is backing up.
Correct.
Yeah, and good hook by Cuevas. So in the last 25, 30 seconds, Jacob Cuevas has flipped the script on Contreras.
Yeah,
and a good hook again.
Yep, those left hooks are what's doing it.
We're used to the Contreras hook being a weapon in this fight, but now it's Cuevas using it.
And you see you got to stay here, and he did a nice job keeping that right hand up for that hook right there, did Contreras. So we have about a minute left in this round.
There's no question, that the geography of this fight favors Contreras right now when he's on the inside, but he's not there all the time.
Yeah, I mean, he got to double, triple that jab, to the body, to the head, like whatever, and then get back inside.
Yeah, he's got to walk in behind that punch.
Yeah, he's got to let his hands go instead of one at a time, because once again, that's the easier shot to counter. Now you got him going backwards. This is where you got to let the hands go.
There you go. That's where you got to do your...
Now, for Jacob Cuevas, this last minute and a half has been a very good sequence for him, and he needed to stem the tide of what Contreras was doing, and he did that.
Yes, he did.
And we'll see if that's enough to secure a win for him with this 6th round.
Yeah, interesting ebb and flow at the start of the round. It was Cuevas going backwards. That second minute was Cuevas pushing forward, and here we go again with Cuevas on the back foot.
Yeah, but like Contreras got to get a little bit more busy in these last 10 seconds.
Big uppercut on the inside by Cuevas. So that was a moment where on the inside he was effective and ripping the good left hook. He found the uppercut here in this last round.
Yes, he did.
So a very entertaining lightweight battle here on Country Box as we saw Jacob Cuevas, the Las Vegas resident, and his corner is very excited about what happened. Came into this fight 6-0-1, and Ruben Contreras from Dallas, Texas, who performed very well also, came in here at 3-0 with 3 knockouts. His knockout string ends tonight. He hopes his winless streak, or his victory streak does not end.
Yeah, on my unofficial card, I would say that was Cuevas came around with that deciding round for me. It would be 4-2 because of that 6th round.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, no question he did better in the last portion of that 6th round, did Jacob Cuevas.
So we can't judge it. I mean, we can't score it. So let's see what the judges say.
They're the official word on this. We're going to hear from them in a little bit. But Ruben Contreras getting love from this crowd, and why wouldn't he? He put on a very good fight, as did Jacob Cuevas. And we expected this one to be a good one coming in, and it was very much that. And we are awaiting the decision. Mike Rogers is going to give it to us in just a moment or two.
Yep, and here he comes.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for these two warriors. All three judges scored this bout 57-57, a draw.
Wow, interesting. Well, Jacob Cuevas gets the second draw of his career, and apparently either one of those first 3 rounds was scored for Contreras, or the judges had him sweeping. And my guess is one of those first 3 rounds went to Contreras, and then 2 of the last 3, went to Cuevas, and that's how we ended up with a draw. But I don't know.
Yeah, anyway you slice it, it's a draw, I guess. But I would say maybe they gave that last, because as we mentioned, at the first and last minute of the round, Contreras was the one pressing forward in that 6th round. So possible. I would like to take a look at those cards if we can.
Yeah, traditionally there is the tendency for judges to do that, and we're going to move on here with more boxing action. Julius Daniel is taking on Jalen Green, 2 fighters early in their pro career, though one is a veteran age-wise. We'll explain that. Both men at the beginning of their careers trying to make something good happen for themselves.
Now entering the ring in the blue corner from St. Louis, Missouri, Jalen Bandit Green.
And here comes Jalen Green as he comes in, making his pro debut from St. Louis, Missouri. And he is giving up some height in this match to Daniel. But we'll see how that plays for him.
Now entering the red corner, fighting out of Nashville, Tennessee, Julius, King of Hearts, Daniel.
And here comes Julius Daniel, who is a 39-year-old from Ocala, Florida. Only in his 4th professional fight. He is 1-2 with 1 knockout as a professional. And he initiated at the weigh-in some interesting theatrics as he gets a musical send-off.
Y así te vas a quedar con dinero y sin dinero. Hago siempre lo que quiero y mi palabra es la ley. No tengo trono ni reina ni nadie que me comprenda.
Me personally, I just like to go out there and just fight. I don't like the showman stuff. I just want to go do what I got to do. You know?
Well, you know, it's one way to get the crowd on your side.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next fight of the week is scheduled for 4 rounds in the cruiserweight division and is presented to you by Jimmy Adams Promotions. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he weighed in at 186 pounds, making his pro debut, fighting out of St. Louis, Missouri. Please welcome Jalen Bandit Green. And in the red corner, weighing in at 184 pounds, born and raised in Jacksonville, Now fighting out of Nashville, Tennessee, please welcome Julius, King of Hearts, Daniel.
All right, gentlemen, trunks are looking. Protect yourself at all times. Listen to my commands at all times. Any questions? Touch gloves. Swinging.
Yeah, I just want to get to business. The only thing I care about is my opponent and me, how I'm going to destroy him.
All right, we're going to get to that business right now. It's round one. Daniel, the left-hander, as I mentioned, who got a late start in boxing. And at the weigh-in, he was being very challenging to Jalen Green. Jalen Green coming out like he wants to tell him something with his fists.
He's coming out hot. It's Jalen Green. Now we'll see how long that lasts for a minute. He's coming out swinging wild.
Not necessarily the greatest technique so far from Jalen Green, but a lot of aggression.
He's landed some.
Yeah, he did.
A few, but now Daniel trying to take advantage of that.
I think he tried to pretend he was Mike Tyson there for a minute. He came out in just that towel now.
He was running in, but some of those punches were, and I'm not, overhand right gets there for Green, kind of a slapping punch.
Yeah. You can kind of see the power, and you can see the power.
Yeah, but a lot of slapping punches by Jalen Green. The technique is an issue for him.
He hasn't turned his knuckles into one, and you'll notice too, he comes in, takes that breather, then he tries to go back in. I'm not sure how many of those little flurries he has left in him now. We'll see.
Yeah, his mouth's already open.
So far, whatever, Jalen Green has done a lot of the offensive work, some of it unorthodox, but he's gotten some punches in, and there he goes again, and he's pushing Daniel back, and Daniel even holds for a moment. So whether we think the technique is perfect or not,
it's effective.
It is effective right now.
Yeah, he's not quite biting down on that mouthpiece, Albert. We'll see if that thing comes out at any moment, especially if Daniel starts to land something.
I haven't seen any power from Daniels yet.
He's landed a couple of counter punches, but they have not been powerful. Now, he does have one knockout in his 3 pro fights. He ruined the debut of D'Artagnan Ware, stopping him in the 2nd round. And he wants to ruin Jalen Green's pro debut, but so far it's Green doing the offensive work.
Yeah, now you'll see how upright Daniel is. He's not using his jab at all, and he's allowing Green to come in and throw these wild shots. As you see, Green keeps jumping in. Right there, he even took a break, stepped back, and came back.
Yeah, not much offense coming from Daniel, and if he's playing possum, it is costing him this first round.
Who knows? Is he doing a 1 round out of 4 rope-a-dope? Not quite. I don't think so, but I think the awkwardness is giving him a little bit of trouble.
Also, I think because, another thing that Green is inside, and, he's shorter.
And there's the first right hand, and that stumbled Green a bit. And gold, Daniel.
That is odd body posture by Jalen Green, and I'm pretty amazed Daniel didn't take advantage of it right there.
Yeah. What an uppercut
by Daniel.
There's a mouthpiece.
Did it come out?
Well, Jalen Green has his say at the end of the round, and then tromps on his mouthpiece on the way back. And that's what happened at the weigh-in. It was Daniel doing a lot of the talking, and this time Green had some words for him after what wasn't a very effective round for him.
Yeah. That kind of amps people up when you do all this theatrics and you do all this talking. That's, you don't want to give somebody extra motivation. Or say, like what we used to say in football.
Board material,
yeah, bulletin board
You've
material.
You've been in a few of those situations.
Right.
I think Green was coming out like that no matter what.
I don't know. I think, the way it is, he was even, saying something to his, corner guy about it. So
he's a debut.
Yeah.
Well, Daniel did initiate it at the weigh-in, so it was coming from him. But we'll see. Now, we're headed into round number 2, and we already saw at the end of that round from Jalen Green some very, very weird body posture, and they forgot to put the mouthpiece in, so now that's in.
Yep.
This corner might be debut, too.
Yeah, they
possible.
just put on the gloves for the first time in there as well, so I think so.
So here comes Green doing what he did in the first round, coming forward, and it's going to be incumbent on Daniel, the 39-year-old, to land something in return. Daniel, I mentioned he started late at age 26. He's had one fight each year. So this is his fourth fight. Each year he's been a pro. But he's getting this fight in early in the year. Maybe he can have another one.
Yeah, did you hear that little squeal he did right there to Daniel? Now, Daniel should get his right hand up a little bit because Green is still finding those slapping shot openings over it with his left hand. And Daniel's not showing that he is the most experienced man in here right now at the moment.
No, even though he is older and has a little more experience as a professional fighter. And another caution from the referee. I guess I don't know what that's for. If it's for holding or
it's for sticking his glove in the face and the forearm and the face on the ropes.
Well, whatever it is, Green not too happy right now, but he's in danger, it would seem, of a point being deducted at some point. And there's Daniel now trying to do some offensive work.
And he's got to get his right hand up because even against a guy like Green, he's getting caught over the top, and it's open once again if Green goes for it. But there's that first shot from Daniel.
Daniel ripping shots on the inside. Some of those punches go to the back of the head. Well, Jalen Green is colorful. There's no question about that.
That was turning around saying, I forgot this.
I forgot I was supposed to punch. And a right hook sends him down.
I think that's more of a tired.
Could be.
You can tell, like, the way he's, like I said, his mouth's been open since the first 15 seconds of the fight.
No, he probably knew if he didn't get him out in round one, he was uphill.
So, Jalen Green down, and now is this fight continuing?
We got a standoff.
Julian Daniel said, okay, and then he comes back in.
All right, Daniel, all this theatrics versus a guy like this, I'm not too sure about. Now he's trying to pump up the crowd.
Julius Daniels should just walk in and try and end this fight. That would be the best idea, but he's giving Green a chance to kind of get some momentum back.
And he's pissing him off, like Albert said. And there's that left hand.
So this is like one of those quintessential undercard fights where it's kind of fun in a crazy way.
Yeah.
And Daniel now landing big shots on the inside. And man, does Jalen Green look tired, and the mouthpiece comes out again. He could get a warning or a point deduction over this. We didn't wash that off. All right.
No, he knocked it. He knocked it right out. Like, he didn't spit it out. His mouth's not closed.
He actually slipped a few of those shots there, bending down on his knees. Almost not quite even close, but to Emmanuel Augustus, the drunken master, in the tiniest of ways.
So we're winding our way through this four-rounder.
You understand, this is like fighting.
Ladies and gentlemen,
and boxing.
These two
it's two different things.
It's
not a street fight. No, this is boxing.
Now that right hook, in theory, should have made that a 10-8 round. Even though Green did some good work, it could have, unless they thought Green won the round.
He's done.
Green in the corner right now is sucking in wind.
He looks very tired.
Yeah.
The question, and it's an interesting one that bears asking, is can Julius Daniel actually take advantage of that and get a stoppage? We haven't seen evidence that is a sure thing, but we'll find out as we move into the next round in this fight. And Jalen Green huffing and puffing.
That mouthpiece is barely staying in even at the moment.
And 39-year-old Julius Daniel presses forward in round three. Well, no, now it's Green coming forward.
But again, he hasn't turned his knuckles yet.
No, it's mostly slapping shots. But he's landed enough to be competitive, certainly.
In the judges' eyes.
Some of those have gotten through. But here comes Daniel now. And now, early in the round, and good body work by Daniel. That, of course, could be the key to ending this fight if you're facing a guy. And there goes the mouthpiece.
Yeah, he wants to be done.
Which, in theory, we should wash off, but I don't know that he wants to go on.
He's taking a load off on the ropes right now. And that's
that'll do it. So, Jalen Green, from exhaustion as much as anything else, after Julius Daniel changed changed his strategy, went down to the body against the opponent that was very tired, and he gets himself his second win. So he moves to 2-2 as a professional and gets the last word in their discussion.
Yep. Now they have a little bit of a tiny moment right here. Green might throw another one. If
Jalen Green not happy, so he was not conciliatory at that moment, but Julius Daniel did his best to have a conciliatory moment and do some social media activity as well. So, he's a multitasker, Albert. That's what he is. He's a multitasker. Musical walk-ins that are fun to get the crowd on his behalf. Social media, he's got a lot going on there.
Yeah.
It might not be exactly, as you pointed out, absolutely taking care of business, but it ended up okay for him.
We're in 2026, so I guess so.
By technical knockout at 54 seconds of the third round, coming out of the red corner, Julius King of Hearts
and
Daniel.
A crown. What else would we need to end this four-rounder?
Ladies and gentlemen, we're coming back with country music singer James Carruthers.
TKO by exhaustion.
Well, I hear that train is coming. It's roaring down the bend. And I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. But I'm stuck in Folsom Prison where time keeps dragging on. Oh, and that train keeps a rolling on down to San Dawn. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, always be a good boy, don't ever play with guns. But I shot a man in Nashville just to watch him die. Oh, when I hear that whistle blowing, I bow my head and cry. If that railroad train was mine, I bet I'd move it on a little further down the line, far from Folsom Prison. That's where I'm going to stay. Oh, and I let that lonesome whistle blow my blues away. Eating in a fancy dining car. They're probably drinking coffee and smoking big cigars. But I know I had it coming. I know I can't be free. Oh, and that train keeps moving, and that's what tortures me. Son of a gun with half the corn on the bow. Well, till my life drop this highway to gumbo. Cause tonight I'm gonna see my machete meal. You be guitar, feel free to and make you. Well, son of a gun with half the corn on the bow. And style, but walk while with me on my own. Well, son of a gun will have that fall on the Bible. Well, my life coffee's high, feeling gumbo. Cause tonight I'm gonna see my Cheramio. Big guitar, feel free charter and the gill. Well, son of a gun will have that fall on the Bible. One more time, sing my Mosquita meal. You big guitar, feel free to join in the gale. Well, son of a gun will have a fall on the Bible. Yes, son of a gun will have a fall on the Bible. Yes, son of a gun will have a fall on the country music singers have always been a real close family. Lately, some of my kinfolk have disowned a few others than me. I guess it's because I kind of changed my direction. Lord, I guess I went and broke up. If we get stoned and sing all night long, it's a family tradition. I am very proud of my daddy's name. Although it's kind of music, mine ain't exactly the same. Give me correction. I'll tell them leave me alone. We're gonna country box all night long. It's a family tradition. Why do you drink? Why do you roll slow? Why must you live out the songs that you wrote? We're gonna party all night long. It's a family tradition. I said, hey, soft bones, I'm just carrying on an old family tradition.
we go. We are here, back.
Great performance there, and we are ready. We're going to be moving on in just a little bit with the rest of our boxing. We're heading toward the latter portion of our broadcast, and coming up just a little bit is going to be a very good lightweight fight, or welterweight fight, I should say, with Asmel Avila against Tyree Sawyer. And I think that one is going to be a fun one for sure. Asmel Avila, who sparred with Mario Barrios before his fight with Ryan Garcia, and you see the numbers for these two fighters. And Mario Barrios is in the building now, and you see the numbers that make them similar. 19-year-old Tyree Sawyer from Wisconsin is trying to see if he can upset the apple cart for Asmel Avila, who is a young fighter that many are suggesting could be an excellent pro. And we have something special in just a moment here. We're going to be sending things up to Mike Rogers with a very special guest, and I think he may be ready for it. Let's go up to Mike Rogers if we can.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with Mario Barrios, the former WBC welterweight champion of the world. You might have saw him fight last weekend, 12 round with Ryan Garcia. Sir, you are here tonight for Asmel Elgato Avila. Tell us, sir, what is he like as a sparring partner?
Man, Osman's super talented, a super good dude. I fought with him super heavy, which is why I'm here in Nashville. It's mine and my girl's first time out here. We're having a blast out here. You know, I appreciate her for the hospitality. But yeah, we're watching Osman work.
In all seriousness, have you been to Broadway yet?
I was walking up and down there earlier today.
Okay, so what is your favorite country song?
Oh, I can't lie, but I'm not a country fan. I'm a rocker.
A rocker, okay. So what? You know what? You put me on the spot. What is your favorite song?
I'm a big punk head. Anything with the Casualties, the Misfits, the Addicts, the older punk sound.
I love that. That is awesome. Okay, so you've had this war. You're going to take some time off. What are your goals in the future, sir?
Yeah, right now, just take some time off, just recalibrate, rest my body, spend some time with my family, some loved ones, and then then I'm going to come back at super welterweight.
You may be the biggest welterweight I believe I've ever seen in my entire life. Y'all, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Mario Barrios, former WBC welterweight champion of the world, Mario Barrios.
So Mario Barrios here to help celebrate his sparring partner, who is in there, Asmel Avila. And let's look again at their numbers so we can remind you of these two young men. Sawyer, only 19 years old. I mentioned from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He had a good amateur career. Asmel Avila had a phenomenal amateur career. And the numbers on them, not too different. And we're going to see whether the more amateur experience of Avila plays a big role in this fight.
Okay, Nashville, are we ready for this next fight? All right, and now entering the ring in the blue corner from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Tyree Sawyer.
Well, here's Tyree Sawyer. I mentioned he is a 19-year-old, is 1-0 as a professional, and he is trained by his dad, Andre, who was a very good professional. He had a couple of fights, and he's training Tyree.
Now entering in the red corner, fighting out of Fresno, California, Asmel Elgato
Asmel Avila. I mentioned he's 2-0. He's a 24-year-old from Fresno, California. He is trained by Joey Hernandez. He comes out of the West Side Boxing gym up there, and their promotional company. His compatriot Jet Blackwell will be fighting in just a couple of fights, and this young man looks for all the world to be a pretty good prospect with a tremendous amateur career behind him.
Accompanied by Barrios right there as well.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next fight for the evening is scheduled for 4 rounds in the welterweight division and is presented to you by Jimmy Adams Promotions and West Side Promotions. Sponsored by Murder Cigars. Introducing first, out of the blue corner, he weighed in at 145.6 pounds. He holds a perfect record of 1 win, no loss. Fighting out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, please welcome Tyree Sawyer. And in the red corner, weighing in at 147 pounds. He holds a perfect professional record of 2 wins, no defeats, both wins coming by way of KO. Please welcome Asmel Elgato Avila.
All right, boxers, trunks are looking good. Remember, at all times, listen to my commands at all times. Any questions from anybody? Touch gloves and come swinging.
So here we go into round number 1 of this 4-round welterweight encounter. Sawyer is a kind of a free swinger who's got a nice overhand right, but tends to throw kind of wide looping punches. We'll see if Avila, who was one of the top amateurs in the United States with over 200 amateur fights, whether he will be able to take advantage of that.
Yeah, and Sawyer has beat, in his one fight, he beat a fellow 2-0, just like Avila. So we'll see. Avila's coming out. He's being smart right now and kind of taking his time, not jumping in at anything that's coming at him yet from Sawyer.
Do we know how extensive fight at Sawyer in the amateurs? Did Sawyer have a long amateur's career?
Well, he had over 50 fights as an amateur, so he was a good amateur. Not as many as Avila, but he fought in the regional tournaments in the Midwest.
Yeah, he's been going in the amateurs, Sawyer, since at least 2001, so he's got some time. And there's Avila's left hook right there. It's very instinctive, and he's got a great one. Sawyer's trying to sneak that right hand in.
Yeah, the big power for Avila comes from that left hook, and we see him cranking it up early in this fight.
Sawyer is pretty quick right here, and you see Sawyer's trying to time him up himself. Avila did a nice job right there, ducking under a few, and there's that left hook he's trying.
Tyree Sawyer is not an easy opponent by any stretch. He's not only is he 1-0, he's a guy that has a lot of belief in himself. And we saw in his first fight where he beat a 2-0 fighter that he's got some pop in that overhand right. Although now he's fighting as a lefty, which is interesting.
Yeah, he's going to switch a bit, and so you see this is what Avila's trying to do. He sees the hand speed him, the counter's trying to come at him. He's going to try and get as close as he can and smother those shots.
This is a very entertaining first round. Avila has probably controlled it, but you see the left hook downstairs from Sawyer, and he has done some very, very good offensive work as well.
There's a great left hand hook right there from Avila and a little right hand as well, and that's kind of backing up Sawyer for a minute.
Yeah, one thing I see is definitely Avila has the better footwork and probably a little bit more polished, but the hand speed of Sawyer kind of gives Avila a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, and Sawyer is a good technical fighter. It's just that Avila has a lot more experience overall as an amateur, but it's going to be an interesting fight. I feel like this one could have some ebbs and flows in it.
Yes, not only is an amateur, but that Campo Barrios, of course, champion of the world, helps a ton. But
Yeah.
good body shots from Sawyer for a minute
Yeah.
there.
Here comes Avila coming back now after Sawyer had done that good body work. Nice overhand right by Avila. So Avila punctuates a pretty good first round for him, and and we'll get to see some of that.
Yeah, we'll see these replays. This is Avila trying to get in close and kind of cut off those smother those shots coming back in from Sawyer. You see right there, he does a nice job keeping those elbows in tight. Now, Sawyer had a lot of success in this round, but that's the difference right there is Sawyer doesn't quite know what to do right there. He put his hands down low, open up for that shot up top.
Yeah, and like right now, it's kind of like shocking. These guys are, second fight, third fight.
Yeah, it's a good matchup at this point to see. Yeah,
I would like to see them a little bit, like maybe a little further on in their career and see how good they are.
Well, Avila, his Patrick Reagan, his promoter, said they took this because they felt like they wanted to fight a good fighter, and they felt like he would ultimately end up handling it. And it's his first fight with Westside Boxing, and they wanted to evaluate and see where Avila is as a professional. He's fighting after a little over a 1-year layoff, and so he's getting back into it. And he looked sharp in that first round for sure. As did there's the overhand right from Sawyer, which is a good weapon for him.
Yeah, Sawyer's got a lot of untapped potential right there. You see him even timing the jab. He's got quick hands and some decent little power behind him. If he could kind of touch that game up a bit, he could be a little bit of a problem. He's in a tough out right now as a 19-year-old.
I think, if he can tighten up his defense a little bit and not drop the hands as much.
You see right there, that's the difference from Avila. He got to work once again in that great training camp, and he was able to turn Sawyer on the ropes.
Mentioned Sawyer's trained by his father, Andre, who had 4 professional fights. And he's a showman, too. In his last fight against this first pro fight against Roderico Jennings, he was, moving around, talking to the crowd, doing a lot of interesting stuff. He's been much more of a workman in this fight. Nice right by Avila.
Sawyer took that pretty well, too. And it's interesting because I'm sure Sawyer, in his just one fight, when he lands a good shot, he's not used to the return fire.
See Sawyer going to the body a little bit more.
Avila is landing some really good power punches, and you made the point, Justin. Tyree Sawyer is absorbing them. Of course, it's not helping him in the scoring department, but he is absorbing them and showing a really good chin and toughness.
Yes.
He's also firing some good body shots to Avila. Sawyer is.
Yeah, he's landed some of those for sure. And see the hand speed of Avila. He's a good combination puncher as well.
Yeah, and Avila's the type of fighter where he's got that classic Mexican style. He doesn't mind if he takes a few because he has taken some really good shots from Sawyer, and he's answering right back. So it's a tough test for Sawyer right now as a 19-year-old facing an opponent like
this is a rough assignment when you're that age against a man like this. But also for Avila because he's facing a good fighter. He's not somebody that's a veteran that doesn't have wins. So under a minute left to go here in what has been a very entertaining round 2. The one thing about this fight is that there's been a lot of good action back and forth, and we've seen a lot of what I think is so far a very entertaining fight.
Yes, a lot of back and forth, and it's just a little bit tighter as Avila. Obviously, that comes from the amateur pedigree. Right there, you see him get his hands up, turn him in the corner, then come back with that little finish the combo with the left hook, and that's just making the difference in these rounds.
This fight is a right hand by Sawyer. This fight may revolve around whether Sawyer can get enough respect with his right hand to keep Avila off him. Right now, it's a fun fight to watch with back and forth. Good hook again by Avila. That's his calling card.
That was a great left hook, and once again, Sawyer took it.
Oh, yeah.
Square on the chin, and he's fine.
Yeah, you can see definitely Sawyer's landing some stuff, but Avila is definitely more busier, more sharper as a fighter. See these guys as a third and second fight to be matched up. This is a very good fight, very, very entertaining.
And no matter what happens, nobody will be a loser from this fight because Avila is showing why people have confidence in him as a contender, and a 19-year-old is showing that he's good beyond his years. That's and there's his dad, Andre, in the corner with Tyree, and Joey Hernandez in the corner, a very fine trainer who has built up a very good reputation in the corner of Osmel Avila.
Sawyer just 19 years old, too. He doesn't have a knockout on his 1-0 record yet, but once he kind of starts to develop that power and kind of tighten everything up like we've been saying.
He kind of hurt his first opponent with the overhand right a couple of times, Rodrigo Jennings, but couldn't knock him down. So we're heading to round number 3 of this 4-rounder, and a wild right hand, but a good hook by Sawyer.
And in steps Avila. Now you see Avila right now, he's kind of changing the pace on his shots. That's another thing, just for being 2-0. Going to once again come from a sparring camp with the champion like Barrios. Now Sawyer's making a great account for himself, even in these competitive rounds.
Yeah, he's in the beginning of this third round. You know, you looked for signs that maybe Sawyer might feel a little overwhelmed by the volume, but not so. He came out firing in this round. And there's the good jab and the combinations by Avila.
That right hand of the body from Sawyer has been a pretty good weapon for him so far in this third
He's
round.
a very good body puncher.
If he can like just tighten it up, because all shots are looping. To me, I mean, they're coming with power, but they're a little bit looping. If he can make them a little bit more sharper.
The left hook he can throw more. He throws fairly compact, but the right hand's a little. Although he's getting that punch in too a little bit now.
Yeah, he tried that left hook with Avila. He hooked with the hooker and kind of got the better of it for that one.
Yeah, good right hand. And Avila is throwing those hooks from so low. He might be open to a counterpunch here by Sawyer. And this has been a terrific round. Halfway through round 3, and man, we have seen a lot of action from these two fighters.
Yes, and that's why Avila was brought in, because he throws that hook where he just whips it and really gets his body into it. Very kind of Ryan Garcia-esque. Not quite Ryan Garcia, obviously, but nearly there.
Yeah, that's why he went into Barrios' camp, because he could emulate that left hook. This has been a very close round, in my opinion. Both men have done really good work. There's Avila doing some good combination work, and Sawyer battling back. And, you know, a round like this is going to depend on whether the judges are giving Sawyer credit for all those body punches he's landing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, Sawyer probably has landed the heavier, harder shots in this round, too, yeah.
I think, like, most of his shots have been, pretty hard. It's just like Avila's been more busier to me.
Yeah, he has.
More
although
busier and
in this
sharper.
round, I think Sawyer's been pretty active.
Oh, yes.
But there's that hook that got in by Avila.
Yeah, and you see Sawyer's becoming a little bit more aware of the hook. Avila actually made a good little adjustment. He kind of went over the top with it. And right there, he's using his right hand a little bit more. There's that counter right hand of the body from Sawyer that he's been looking for.
You cannot ask for better give-and-take action than this fight is giving us, and especially this round.
Wow, it's a
Two
great round.
young welterweights battling away.
I think Sawyer took that one. I mean, he's awkward and effective in that awkwardness, especially when he makes a miss and comes back with that quick hand of the body.
What a round of boxing that was.
You'll see in these replays right here, that's Sawyer flipping stances, then he throws that right hand. Avila made an adjustment, kind of rolled with it, kind of on the back. And there's that left hook that Avila's been trying to sneak it in. And there's a variation with it, went up top, then went down to the body. Kind of a slapping right hand right there from Avila.
And all the while, Avila still throws his combinations and lands a lot of them. And it's creating a very interesting dynamic in terms of styles and action. And there's a proud dad right now, because I'll tell you what, he's got his son involved in the fight against somebody that many people believe is going to be a top contender and has had a little more experience than him. And Tyrese Sawyer is giving what he takes in this fight. And both men are acquitting themselves extremely well. We head into round number 3. The penultimate round, or round number 4, excuse me. The final round of this fight.
Now we'll see, yes, as you hear the corner of Sawyer saying he wants to box down, that is the adjustment that Avila's kind of made for the first 10 seconds of this. We'll see if it lasts.
That was wishful thinking on my part, because I wanted to see more rounds of this fight.
Yeah, I wish it was more.
Yeah, too bad it's not 6, but it's interesting.
Yeah,
both these
but
men's
it's
gas tanks look
appropriate
pretty
for them
good.
to go 4 at this point, but we'd like to see those extra rounds. So, final round of this welterweight encounter, and in theory, if that third round was a round that Sawyer could have won, we may be looking at a pretty close situation here.
And that's the trick with these 4-round fights. They're so quick that if you get dropped, especially too, that could really make you
that
uphill,
for sure. Now, good combination punching there by Avila. He is certainly a good combination puncher. There's no question about that.
Yeah, and you see he made that adjustment. He's on the back foot a little bit more, making Sawyer kind of come into him instead of being right there for those counters.
And Avila has stopped the two opponents he's faced as a pro. So he knocked out Henry Mendez in the 3rd round of his last fight. So if he's forced to go the distance, it'll be the first man that's done that to him as a pro.
Yep. And there's that return fire coming back. Avila lands a good right, then Sawyer answers with the right hand down to the body.
And hasn't that been, whether it's the right or the left, that's been the story of this fight.
Yeah.
Either a left hook or a right landing from Avila, and then Tyree Sawyer comes back. We're over halfway through this 4th round, a round in which Avila has been very busy, but Sawyer has returned fire for sure.
It seemed like more Avila has been like very busy, but like Sawyer's been definitely landing the harder punches because like Avila's just been kind of like pity patting. I see not a whole lot of power from this round.
Some of those left hooks have been pretty good, but in general, it's been more combination punching. Well, under a minute left to go now in round number 4, and which man can put a stamp on this fight? Avila's had a very good 4th round, I think it's fair to say, although Sawyer's done some good work in return.
I'd like to see Avila start tugging in that body a little bit more with both the right hand and left hook. It's right there, you see him going up top, but that body still, it's open for him, especially in those clinches.
Both men showing urgency here in the last minute. And we have under a half minute left to go in this fight. And Avila, again, throwing some combinations. And Sawyer with that right hand. A good body work by Avila. And a left hook. That's the punch that Avila has landed with authority in this fight. And
mouthpiece might end the fight right here.
Well.
5 seconds.
That'll do it for what was a very entertaining 4-round welterweight matchup. 2 young men who each, based on taking this fight, showed, I thought, they in their camps were willing to take a little bit of a risk, because for Avila, taking on what they knew was a talented young fighter who had a win already as a pro, as opposed to some veteran where you're fighting a grizzled guy that doesn't have wins. And then for that young man, Tyree Sawyer, at 19, to take on somebody that they know has this big amateur pedigree and is thought of by many people as a possible star in the sport, he shows what he's made of.
Yeah, I mean, Sawyer, both his matches as a pro have been against a 2-0 opponent. He's got a win so far.
Yep.
We'll see what these scorecards are, but yeah, really interesting matchup, especially because it's 4 rounds and they have to kind of go full speed right away, throw those bombs. They weren't wasting anything in the tank.
And interestingly, both men may have shown exactly why they're well thought of.
Yes.
And that's, that's always pleasant when you see that.
You could definitely see them both of them going pretty far in their career. I mean, just right now at this point in time, only being like 2nd fight, 3rd fight, and to like do what they did and as sharp as they was, I thought, there's still some like holes that they want to fill, but these guys, I mean, they gave it their all, and I think they can go far in this sport.
Absolutely.
For sure.
And Avila looked like a 24-year-old with a little bit more of experience. And Tyree Sawyer looked like a 19-year-old that has much room to grow, they both have blue sky ahead of them for sure, but just a slight difference. We'll see, though. We'll see what the judges have to say about this one.
I hope it's just as close as we think it's going to be. So
yeah, there's got to be one round at least thrown in there somewhere. I think for Sawyer.
Mike's having a little mic issue.
Check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for these 2 warriors. The judges' scorecards are in, and we have a split decision. Judge Danny McGrew scored this bout 39. 39-37, Aila. Judge.
Adding to the tension of the moment.
Their hearts must be just beating out of their chest.
All right, here we go. Not yet.
Check, 1, 2.
No checks, just say it.
Well.
The gentlemen, let's do more time.
I think we have a geography problem with that mic. They might have to find the right sweet spot to be in.
Just got to say the
We
word.
have a split.
Oh my God.
You see, Tyree is that kind of young man. He has an interesting sense of humor about things.
Wow.
We're going to get it.
So Mike's going to go to the band. Hey, look at that. Mike's going to go up there to the band to get their mic.
Okay, that's resourceful, see?
And I think he can sing a little bit, too. So.
Mike is a wonderful...
In the words of Toby Keith, how do you like me now?
Yes, we can, Mike.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a split decision. The judges' scorecards are in. Judge Danny McGrew scored this bout 39-37, Aila. Judge Clifton King scored this bout 39-37, Sawyer. David Hudson scored this bout 39-37. And the winner out of the red corner,
So a split decision for Asmel Avila. None of those scores were absurd by any stretch of the imagination. And everybody comes out of this fight with their reputation totally intact, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, Avila showed he could take a shot and keep going forward. He showed his little variation in the game. Those 4-rounders are so tricky. Competitive rounds all the way throughout. Those scorecards are fairly accurate of what was going on, whether you like to come forward or those counter shots. And 3-1 on 2 of them, or Avila 3-1 on the other one.
I would agree. Again, it's like all about the judges' opinions. Like, what are you seeing? Like, some judges like to see.
In the blue corner from Duluth, Minnesota, Rondell Hubert.
All right, we move on with more of our boxing. Rainier Diaz Salgado and Rondell Hubert. They are going to battle each other in a 4-round welterweight encounter, which we hope can even be half of what we just saw in the welterweight division a moment or two ago. And Rondell Hubert has been called to the ring first, and we're awaiting his arrival as he's coming in. He is a veteran in the sport of boxing.
Now entering in the red corner, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, by the way of Pinar del Rio, Cuba, Rainer Diaz.
Rainier Diaz Salgado comes in. He is 1-0-1. He is a Las Vegan now via Cuba. A tricky southpaw. He is making a second appearance on a Country Box. He had a 1-round knockout over Kyle Ransaw on Country Box in December. His first pro fight was a draw, so he's hoping to redo the second one. And there's numbers for these two men. Hubert, the veteran,
Ladies and gentlemen, our next fight of
journeyman,
the evening is
obviously,
scheduled for 4 rounds in the welterweight division, and is
for
presented to you
Salgado,
by Jimmy Adams
the
Promotions.
younger man who's
Introducing
hoping he can add
first,
to that record.
out of the blue corner, he weighed in at 147.8 pounds. He holds a seasoned veteran of record of 59 professional fights, fighting out of Duluth, Minnesota. Please welcome Rondell Hubert. And in the red corner, weighing in at 146 pounds, he holds a professional record of 1 win, no defeats, and 1 draw. Fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, by way of Pinar del Rio, Cuba. Please welcome Rainer Diaz Salgado.
Well, at least the ref is going to give the instructions to the fighters. We don't have to hear it because we already know what it's going to be.
We're pretty familiar with the pre-fight instructions, and now we're set to go in this 4-round welterweight battle. The veteran Rondell Hubert taking on Rainer Diaz Salgado, one of a number of Cuban fighters we've seen here tonight, and we still have one more left to go, who are fighting out of the United States now.
Yeah, we mentioned that experience of Hubert. He's had a lot of fights, one of them including versus Rolly Romero, WBA welterweight champion, and also one of the only men to go the distance with Hermes Orta, one of the country bucks.
Yep.
Stable man.
Yeah, he is a veteran, Hubert, who 14-year pro, and has fought many prospects and undefeated fighters along the way.
There's Salgado coming in, and
down
goes.
That was quick.
That was a great shot. He said it hit him in the back of the head, but I think it was pretty much on the ear.
So an early knockdown in this fight, and Salgado starting out quickly. Again, the right hand, and some of those I think are landing a little bit low, but that's partially, or behind the head, but that's partially that Hubert is moving his head.
Correct. And Salgado's got a really strong lead hand. He'll start and finish with that right hand, with those hooks.
Those right hooks are getting in, and Hubert, he's just in a world of trouble, and there's over we're only halfway through this round number 1. And Salgado doing his level-headed best to try and end this fight.
Now, right there's where Salgado could kind of pick his shots a little bit more. Everything in that sequence was hard. Now, a little bit of a break right here for. They called that one from the commission desk.
Okay.
That's the first.
Well, maybe they felt Hubert wasn't going to be competitive, but he got up. And at that moment, had just taken a fuselage of punches from Salgado, but the commission felt that they needed to stop this fight. So that's the way it went down. The referee's explaining to the Hubert corner what transpired. So we've seen a little bit of everything here tonight, and that's yet another part of the drama that unfolds at Country Box.
Yeah, they might not have liked the fact that Hubert was bending over and may catch one of those shots to the back of the head.
Possibly, and we'll take a look at some of that.
You'll see.
Yeah, most of them were like he's bending down, so it's kind of even he said he's hit me in the back of the head. Well, you're bending down to
probably
hit
wasn't
in the back
intentional by Salgado, but so
ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner at 1 and 37 seconds of the very first round. Winner by TKO out of the red corner, Rainer Diaz Salgado.
So the third win as a professional for Salgado, and it is a stoppage win.
Apparently,
for him.
I am going to speak to David Oliveira, the Atomic Rojas. So, Mr. Rojas, apparently you had a bout tonight with Edwin Cortez, and he chickened out on you. So, first of all, I know what that does to a fighter's psychology. You were prepared to fight, and he didn't show up. Tell me, how do you feel, and what message do you want to send to this young man for backing out?
Well, for first, he canceled twice, back at home in Motor City. And, we came down here to represent 313, and he backed out again 2 hours before the event. We were more than ready, and, we're just looking forward for the next steps.
Will you ever take another bout with this young man again?
Huh?
Would you ever accept a bout with this guy again?
Honestly, I don't think so. We're trying to move on and get bigger fights. We're so close for a title shot, so, we're more than welcome to,
So tell me this, Mr. Rojas. I need to know, I want you to tell the fans in the audience and the fans watching nationwide, why do they call you the Atomic Ant?
They call me the Atomic Ant because all we do is, we do fireworks up in there. We throw body shots, they always underestimate me, but once I'm in the ring, man, it's over. It's different, They always underestimate me because of my height, but, I might look 130, but, I'm fighting 115.
So they've all got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for David, the Atomic Ant Rojas. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your seats, fasten your seat belts, put it on. Let's get ready for country music singer James Carruthers.
People say I'm no good, crazy as a loon. 'Cause I get stoned in the morning, I get drunk in the afternoon. Kinda like my old blue tick hound, I like to lay around in the shade. I ain't got no money, but a damn sure got it made. I ain't asking nobody for nothing. If I can't get on my own. If you don't like the way I'm living, just leave this little air country home. Preacher man talking on TV, putting down rock and roll. Wants me to send a donation, 'cause he's heard about my soul. See, just walked on the water, and I know that is true. Sometimes I think that preacher man would like to do and walking too. I ain't asking nobody for nothing. If I can't get on my own. If you don't the way I'm living, just leave this long country boy. rich girl wants to flirt. A rich man goes to college, and a poor man goes to work. A drunker wants another drink of wine, and a politician wants your vote. I don't want much of nothing at all, but I will take another tour. I ain't asking nobody for nothing if I can't get it on my own. If you don't like the way I'm living, just leave this long-haired country boy alone. Could be holding you tonight. Quit doing wrong, start doing right. You don't care about what I think. Well, I think I'll just stay here and drink. Listen close and you can hear that loud jukebox playing in my ear. Take all the money in the bank. Well, I think I'll just stay here and drink. Hurting me now, don't swear no deals. At least you know the way love feels. My mind ain't nothing but a total blank. Well, I think I'll just stay here and drink. Hurting me now don't mean a thing. Since love ain't here, I don't feel no pain. There ain't no woman gonna change the way I think. Well, I think I'll just stay here and drink.
Terrific performance to show us what great music we have here at Country Box. This is a part of what makes this so charming is great boxing and great music as well. Well, we've got some more boxing still to come for you. Jet Blackwell and Rydell Booker. We alluded to this fight a little bit earlier this evening. Blackwell taking on the veteran, and I do mean veteran, Rydell Booker.
Now entering the ring in the blue corner out of Detroit, Michigan, rockin' Rydell Booker.
No, honestly, I like Rydell Booker. Just like learn a little bit more about him. Last fight against Kuzza, I think it was like January fight against Kuzza, how he was acting, kind of like a little teaching moment. I want to see. I mean, he has hand speed. I want to see if he can like actually do something against Blackwell. instead of teaching.
Yeah, a 45-year-old veteran, a 25-year veteran of the sport, has a storied history. We'll get into that a little bit more as this fight goes on, but he comes back here again for his third appearance on Country Box.
Don't count us 45-year-olds out. I mean, I'm not 45 yet, but I will be.
You got it, Albert.
Now entering the ring and corner, fighting out of Fresno, California, Jet Blackwell.
And here comes Jet Blackwell, a 24-year-old who is 6-0-1. And he comes in with a win over Auric Anderson in October, a win in a 6-rounder. This is his first appearance on Country Box. He is he had a very good amateur background, and pushing it now into the pros, he hopes he can be a heavyweight contender. And here are the numbers. You see the difference, obviously, in age. That's a big one. They're both big men. Rydell Booker, even bigger. And this will be an interesting one to see how it plays out. Neither man is a monstrous puncher.
Our co-main event of the night is brought to you by Jimmy Adams Promotions and West Side Promotions. Scheduled for 6 in the heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting in the blue corner, he weighed in at 272.6 pounds. Hailing from Detroit, Michigan, a veteran of 40 professional fights with 18 of his 27 victories coming by way of knockout. Please welcome Rockin' Rydell Booker. And in the red corner, he weighed in at a whopping 257.8 pounds. He has a professional record of 6 wins, no defeats, and 1 draw. 2 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Rasco, California, please welcome Jet Blackwell.
You know, we don't have any more, like, beautiful heavyweights.
Beautiful?
Just looking.
Touch gloves, come out swinging.
That is an Albert Hainsworth special. Do you know that one? That is a classic for you. Oh, you made my night with that, Albert. I don't know what else to tell you. All right, we head into round number 1. No more Kenny Nortons out there, huh?
Yes.
All right, there might be a couple. Or Mike Weavers, remember him?
Right, yes.
Yeah, they were. We head into round number 1 of this heavyweight encounter, a 6-rounder.
Yes, Blackwell came out with a good little jab to the body right there. And that's what he said he was going to do. He's going to jab and push Booker backwards.
Yeah, Blackwell's jab is his main calling card. He is very much a boxer, but a boxer who can be aggressive. And he's going to try and do that in spots against Booker. Rydell Booker, you know, I mentioned, I mean, he came in as a professional 25 years ago. He won 22 fights in a row, faced James Toney as a cruiserweight, lost a decision for the cruiserweight title, left the sport for 13 years, and then came back. Now, since he's come back, he's 5-10, but, you know, he has been involved in boxing for a long, long time.
Sure has, yeah, all the way back in 2004, that James Toney one.
Mm-hmm.
Promoted by my uncle, Dan Goosen, right there, too, so I've known Booker, been around him for my whole life.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Here's Booker coming forward a bit.
Yeah, Rydell Booker is, as Albert will attest to in these, we see him in these things, he can have bursts of offense, and of course he finds a way to entertain himself, the crowd, and maybe his opponent when he's in there.
Yeah, that's it. Speaking of James Toney, that's that kind of Detroit style I'm gonna talk to you while we're sparring and even in the fight.
Yeah, Rydell Booker is a true Detroit resident, loves the city, and they love him.
You know, just like like meet him and get to talk to him a little bit outside. You know, he's an interesting guy.
Oh, my God. Fascinating man. And Jet Blackwell, you know, he feels very confident in his ability to be a very technical heavyweight with good footwork, good jab, and he's not the biggest puncher in the heavyweight division, but he knows how to fight, and he had a very good amateur career with more than 70 amateur fights. So he wants to build on that, and fighting a veteran like Booker is a way to do it.
Yeah, he says that he doesn't really fight like a heavyweight. He fights more so like in that middleweight style where he's going to use his feet, double the jab, come up top around the guard. And he's doing that to start this fight a little bit. Now we'll see as he develops if those little pitter-patter shots can keep a big heavyweight off him as Booker charges forward here tonight.
I mean, he looks good, like moving on his feet. So I think that's encouraging. But how long can he do that?
Well, he can. He'll move around for a while. Round one comes to an end in the 6-rounder. A tactical first round, but some offense landed early by Booker, and then toward the end by Jet Blackwell, the Fresno, California resident.
You're going to see these replays. This is Blackwell probably going to be using his jab or left hook here. You see right there, little pitter-patter shots, trying to find that opening around that high guard. Now we'll see. He shot the jab to the body a few times. Booker keeps that guard up very high, so the body's open.
Yeah, definitely the body's open. CB's going to go to it, but then hopefully it doesn't leave his head open, because Booker does have, one thing, he has fast hands for a big man.
Yeah.
If he was
in spots, he can show that.
Yeah. And he's last fight against Kuzza, he showed a little bit of fast hands. So, but 45 years old.
Yeah, he's lost a little bit of speed in him, but he's still got a little bit left.
You got to be happy that he can still get in there and do this. He wants to get a fight back in Detroit where he can just do a home crowd and end his career. So we're heading into round number 2. Jet Blackwell, who was bullied as a youngster, took boxing. His dad suggested, you got to go to get some boxing lessons. He did, beat up the bully, and fell in love with boxing. And then he became, as I said, a very top amateur heavyweight in the United States who fought a lot of the really good heavyweights. And now he's up there with West Side Boxing up in Northern California, Patrick Reagan and his crew. And he's trying to move up the ranks.
Maybe I should have did that with my 24-year-old son.
His dad was Sir Bradley in the Air Force, so he probably got him in there at 7 years old quick. But Blackwell's done some nice work shooting that jab to the body. Booker's looking for a quick little left-hand check hook or come back with his own jab.
And there you see, Blackwell using the jab both downstairs and upstairs. And when you're a really good proponent of the jab, you do that because it helps vary it.
Especially when Booker leaves his guard so high up. Yeah. He's okay kind of taking those shots right there. As you see, you try to bat that one down, parry it away.
Yeah, we've seen Rydell Booker in some of these matches with when he was in there against Kuzza and also against Nestor Santana, the last fight he had here on Country Box when he lost to Santana. He can be against those ropes and avoid some punches.
Yeah, and right now he's pressing forward a little bit, trying to time something, obviously, right there. And it looks like he's been trying to time that left hand. And right there, he's not showing any lack of confidence as Booker.
And out with Blackwell's style, would it be super effective in the going the distance in the heavyweight? I mean, he has fast hands. But
going the distance, it would be okay because he'll keep this up. He'll be clever. He not get hit. So I don't think that's the issue. The issue is against the real big heavyweights. Will he be able to function against that power? And can he have enough power to hold them off? That's probably the issue he's going to have. And he's a big man himself. He's just not a monstrous puncher. So, but he's a very well-schooled fighter, and he does his thing.
It kind of makes sense when you say, he got bullied, and then he just learned kind of really the technique of boxing.
Yes,
and
precisely.
Boxing. Yeah.
That's exactly right, Albert. And that was the difference, I'm sure, in that encounter, and he held it true during his whole amateur career.
Yeah.
So, and Rydell Booker now, doing what he does, kind of, this round he has kind of just been testing the waters and not done too much offensively. So, Jet Blackwell with an active second round.
Yeah. I mean, Blackwell, like we talked about in the beginning, doesn't really fight like the modern heavyweight where he wants to sit down on his punches. He wants to outbox you. He wants to, score those points, take you to the late rounds. And it will be interesting to see if he can keep someone with power and good feet off him, because Booker's not really going to press him too hard.
Yeah. Now he does have several stoppages and a couple of recent ones, so he is capable of that. But the question is, would he be able to do that? Rydell Booker is not the kind of guy that goes down or out. Right? He doesn't. We've seen when you think of a Kuzza and the other Nestor Santana, both have some power. They didn't knock him down, knock him out. And, how can you not like the smile of Rydell Booker? For people that a lot of people have never met him, of course, and been around him, and you alluded to it. One of the most charming personalities of any person I've ever met, period. Yep. He's just a fascinating, interesting guy. Nobody dislikes him in boxing. I don't think there's a soul.
Yeah, look, he's having fun in here. And that he's trying to kind of get in Blackwell's head here, saying, you don't really have the pop to hurt me. You're not scaring me at all. Now, Blackwell's winning these rounds, but we'll see if Blackwell starts to, even try to press the face and kind of, wipe that smile off the face.
He may at some point. Yeah, he may at some point, but.
See right there, those are those little pitter-patter shots. And they're not. A few of them are finding the home, and there's Booker kind of getting. That's an inside on the clinch right there.
And that's like he's being more aggressive. His shots are like a little harder with Booker, but they're few and far between.
Yeah, of course.
You mentioned at the top of the telecast that Blackwell has experience with an older heavyweight. He sparred with Mike Tyson for his couple of recent exhibition or real matches, whatever you want to call them. And so he knows about being in there with heavyweights even older than Rydell Booker.
Yeah, I'd love to see him spar with Mike Tyson, see how he handled that.
Who? Blackwell?
Blackwell with.
He was with Tyson. He sparred with Mike Tyson.
Was that for the Jake Paul fight?
And the one prior to it, I think for the Jones fight as well.
Roy Jones.
Tyson
was 54 then. Booker's only 45 right now.
Yeah, so he was already
Booker's
older.
A young man tonight. In that comparative sense.
Yeah, exactly. Well, here's where Rydell Booker is very effective at this, standing on the ropes and carrying on conversations simultaneously
with the judges and everybody in the crowd.
Yeah, he's gonna have his moment in there. Blackwell, and some of that, is designed to maybe take Blackwell off his game a little bit too, but it's not. And this is what Jet Blackwell does. He's got good combinations. He's got pretty good hand speed. He's got a superb jab, and he will do this to you.
Yeah, he definitely he has great hand speed. I don't know how much power is behind.
Not a big
those
power
features.
puncher, but he can knock out some people. This is why he was a great amateur, because he would put these combinations together and score lots and lots of points.
Yeah,
and he's doing it right here. And, not everything's getting in, but enough is getting in to have points.
And that shows you the power is more. Blackwell focuses more on speed than power. Booker does have a little bit of blood coming out that nose, but I would like to see, Blackwell, he's got the opportunity to sit down on a few of these. I would just like to see what he's got in the tank to do it.
Well, there's a nice right hand by Blackwell on the inside. So
slapping left hook,
So another good round for Jet Blackwell here as he just controls things offensively against Rydell Booker.
Replays. And these are mostly, you see that left hook, he's slapping it on a few of these. Just trying to kind of be in the Paulie Malignaggi of the heavyweight where you're going to use that jab a lot and slapping and be
That's an apt analogy. Paulie used volume as his way of having offense.
Yeah.
Paulie had a great jab.
He did. Very terrific.
Champion of the world. So,
terrific jab. That's what moved him ahead in boxing.
Paulie's more,
ahead.
So, Jeff has been born in a big body, but he has a middleweight, type.
Yeah, that's a good way. That's a good way to put it. Yeah. He has a different mentality that, and I think it's making the most of the abilities you have. Because he's not going to be an easy man for most heavyweights to fight as he moves up in that thing. Now, he was lighter before. The last couple fights, he's been heavier. I don't know if they want him to get back down a little bit because that improves even the movement and the combination punching, but we'll see. In any case, we move into the fourth round with Rydell Booker, the veteran, on the right of your screen, and Jet Blackwell from Fresno, California, the undefeated 6-0-1 heavyweight, a 24-year-old.
Now, the question for Blackwell moving forward is, could he take a big heavyweight shot when that lands?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If you can and you keep going forward, you could go the distance in those fights and, have the chance to outscore him. But if he faces a big puncher, we'll get to see it. Booker's got a little bit of power himself, but 14 of his 27 coming by it.
Yeah, he's just not a knockout puncher now.
Anymore,
this is a different Rydell Booker. Yeah. But what he does do is have some interesting conversations with his opponents, as he did right there.
Yeah.
So, Rydell Booker, I'm going to tell you something about Rydell Booker. He's been training fighters a little bit too. I think there's nobody on the planet who would be a better trainer than him. Good combination work by Jet Blackwell there. Rydell Booker, there's two things Rydell Booker could do great. Be a commentator, which I think he should, and also be a trainer.
Yeah, he's a great sparring partner. A lot of the opponents that he's been in the ring with in real fights have taken him in as a sparring partner because he'll tell you, even in the ring right now, I think you could do this better. Tried to tell his last opponent, and his last opponent was not having it on Country Box.
That's one thing I'd like to see is I'd like to see Kuzza and Blackwell because of how.
Yeah, that would be an interesting matchup. I don't know if we're going to see them against each other right now, but down the road, that's the kind of. Well, the strategy for Blackwell from the folks at Ringside Boxing is they want to get him to the point where he's the highest ranked of the younger heavyweights, and that would include somebody like Kuzza, where they can make that claim and say, look, among the new guard, he's ranked as high as any of them. And that's what their goal is going to be. And Rydell Booker, still talking a good game.
That was more yelling.
He just roared at him. And Blackwell just kind of backed up.
Not much punching coming back, but some talking as well.
And speaking of sparring as well, that's Blackwell's had a lot of experience in the past, especially he's been around Vegas gyms and then in Fresno, Richie Torres and also Frank Sanchez who are fighting each other. So
they've sparred each other a lot. He's sparred with a lot of top heavyweights, the two you mentioned for sure, and a few others as well.
Young, old, everyone.
Yep.
I'd love to see. I want to pull up the old film of Rydell Booker. When he was undefeated.
He was a very good fighter. Really good fighter.
You could see, his skill, his hand speed is. Like in here, he's just like kind of a showman right now. And
way different stage in his career, obviously.
Yeah. And you'll see this is the inside, and this is what James Toney, speaking of the old Rydell Booker, James Toney kind of took him to the inside. Yep. And James was one of the best off fighting inside and on the ropes, and that's how he kind of handed Booker his first loss way back in 2004.
Yeah, but James Toney was probably undefeated himself, right?
James not by the cruiserweight.
Oh no, but at that point he'd lost. He lost to Jones, and he lost one other fight. But he was still an elite fighter.
Yeah.
I mean, he went into the cruiserweight division and had brilliant fights as a cruiserweight. So, but yeah,
that was when Tony he didn't want to train. All he wanted to do was spar. Right?
Yeah, training was not his strong suit all the time during that period.
He didn't want to train the game. He wanted to play the game.
Yeah. And
he practice.
Would move up in weight and be very successful, but it for the most part, and even went up to heavyweight and won heavyweight fights. Yeah. Beat Evander Holyfield, which even though Holyfield was older, still it was amazing. Anyway, we're heading into round number 5, and this match has been mostly about Jet Blackwell getting his way with his hand speed and his jab, and Rydell Booker, the veteran, kind of absorbing some, blocking some, and staying in the corner.
And talking some.
Yes.
Talking a lot.
Yeah, quite a bit, yeah.
Yeah, and Booker, as we mentioned, 45. His birthday, I think, was in February 17th, so newly 45. He fights in spurts, and it's mostly going to be that left hook, right hand, every once in a while. See right there, he's trying to sneak that little uppercut, and right here in the clinch, Gentlemen, they kind of backed up on their own. No need for the ref set.
Chet Blackwell told us a story about somebody that was calling him in to spar, and I forget who the fighter was.
Hrgovic.
Yeah, it was Hrgovic. And they wanted him to stand in front of him and be like, somebody pressure guy. And he said, I'm not that guy. I don't do that. I'm not going to be here in front of you, and you might not hit me if I'm standing in front of you and sparring. So you don't really want me. And they said, oh, okay, yeah, that's a good point.
The good thing, like right now, I'm seeing that Blackwell's came up with his punch volume. I mean, actually, he's throwing a little harder punches now than what he was before. There are no pity pats now. He's actually throwing with authority.
He's setting down a little bit more on his punches. Yeah. And even some of those body punches have been good. And, Rydell Booker at this juncture, he's had three performances like this. So, and he knows that he's right at the end of the string. And he's thinking about other things in boxing.
Yeah, and he started his career all the way in 2001. We mentioned
that's
that
a long time ago.
Yeah, but the first time he was stopped was Hrgovic, who we're talking about in 2020.
Exactly. I mean, and the interesting thing is he was a cruiserweight before, so he was lower than the heavyweights. Under a minute left to go in round number 5, and Jet Blackwell is on point and on mission. His job was to come in here and win this fight, do things that would show people what his skill set is, and he's doing that. He's showing people he's a volume puncher, a heavyweight who has a skill set, and that the guy that couldn't be knocked out by a bunch of other heavyweights, not everyone, some have knocked him out, but is not a guy he might not knock out tonight.
Yeah, I think Booker was stopped twice, in 2025, and those were mostly body shots, and some of them were just the ref kind of calling it off. So maybe Blackwell's best chance is just to let it rip in the corner and force the ref.
As we pointed out, we've seen him in the show box or country box against a couple of heavyweights like Kuzza, and Santana, and he didn't go out. Yep. So round 5 comes to an end, and Jeff Blackwell goes back to his corner and says, "Okay, well, we'll do that again in round 6."
Yes, and Booker is going over there as well.
Yeah.
See in the replays, that's that little corner work we're talking about. Mostly, once again, slapping shots, not really turning his knuckles on anything. Just kind of occupying Booker in the corner.
Yeah, not a lot of landing. I mean, it looked pretty in front of the judges, but the judges don't get replay. So
if you're going to do those slapping shots, try and find that opening to sit down and unload on that one big one. That's like what a guy like Canelo will try and do. Slap, 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 opening, load up.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a good output and good showman for Blackwell, but
we talk about heavyweight business as entertainment as well.
Yeah.
And they like the wilders and the ones that could put you on your butt and put butts in the
one
seats.
punch, a 1 or 2 punch guy.
Also, Rydell Booker's defensive style doesn't allow the opportunity. A guy like Blackwell is going to score his knockout when it's at distance and he lands some kind of power counter shot to hurt somebody. Booker doesn't give you that many opportunities for that. Round number 6 in our penultimate fight of the night. We're so happy you joined us here on Country Box. And there is some good body work by Blackwell. And when many fighters do, when he goes downstairs, he gets more leverage on his punches. Sometimes, especially with the left hook, sometimes fighters don't get as much leverage when they go to the head. So he's landed some body shots that had a little more oomph on him.
Yeah, especially if you kind of throw that right hand that leads you into it. This is on the ropes right there. And it seems like Blackwell's comfortable there, but it's not his preferred place. He'd rather be right here at mid-range.
Yeah. Blackwell came into this fight 6-0-1. And they are looking for him to be busy in the year 2026. And as Patrick Reagan told us, move up in rankings so that they can make some claims about him being one of the top-ranked younger fighters in the division to see if that leads him to better fights.
But no, Albert, this is what we're saying. This is where you slap that left hook again, it lands, but you would like to see him really just load up and dig into one, and he's got the opportunity right here.
Yeah, I mean, to be a heavyweight, you gotta have some type of power behind you.
He's trying the angles, the scoring shots, and
that's his game. It's technical, he's like, he's scoring. I mean, it's kind of like when you're playing like bullseye, you just get score points on somebody.
That was a good right hand there a moment ago. Yeah, and, of course, Booker is so good at covering up. That's one of his, specialties. And even when Blackwell's gone down to the body, it hasn't always opened up the headshots, but there's a couple of good combinations by Blackwell.
Was the best. That was definitely the best shots I've seen from Blackwell, probably this fight right there.
I agree, but he stepped back, so you got the chance right now. Go. If it feels like it.
Yeah, just give it all what you got.
Corner of Booker is yelling to Blackwell, "Let me coach you."
I thought I heard that right. He said you'll be 10-0 right now.
Half a minute left to go here in the final round, and Jet Blackwell is moments away from, we're sure, securing a decision win. And for Rydell Booker, a third straight loss on Country Box against a up-and-coming heavyweight. And this one has probably been the least offensive of those three fights for Rydell Booker.
Yeah, absolutely. He definitely fought harder. Against Kuzza.
Now, was that because Kuzza was giving him something to think about when he's hitting him and he wants to keep him off? Or was Blackwell's just volume too much for the old man?
I don't know. Or it could just be a diminution as he's gotten older, even though it was only a little while ago that he had those fights. Whatever the reason, I think he was more passive this evening and doing what he always does after these fights. He comes over to the other corner. He's probably telling the trainers, okay, here's the thing I think he did really well tonight. Here's what I suggest, He's just that kind of guy. And whether people want to hear that at that moment or not, it's his thing. So for that man, Jet Blackwell, comes here from Fresno, California to Nashville, Tennessee. And he is from Northern California in Fresno. And he gets a win, we presume, in his first Country Box effort.
Yeah, I would say 6-0.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine a round that Booker would have won in that fight.
Yeah.
And look, I got on my fight sheet, I got a couple specks of blood. I don't know if it was.
I think that was from that earlier,
another fight.
The fight
I'm thinking. Yeah, I don't know if it was from this one because we had a couple of guys cut during the course of this evening. It has been an interesting evening, and we have seen just about everything you can see. And now we're going to find out who won this match, which we suppose we know.
Ladies and gentlemen, the judges' scorecards are in. All three judges scored this bout 60-54, and for the winner, out of the red corner, Jet Blackwell.
Yeah. So I'll get up in there while they're. So, good win for Jet Blackwell, as we thought during the course of the evening, and he is able to. Here we are. He is able to get himself a win that he wanted, and did it in the fashion that Jet Blackwell does these things in, with lots of combinations. And we're getting ready for our final match of the evening. We set it up in the open, but we'll do it again because it merits it. We have Fernando Kuzza, an undefeated fighter from Cuba, who now here in the United States, who has been a staple on Country Box's 7th appearance here, and Nathan Bedwell, a very willing and colorful opponent for tonight, who, interestingly, even though he's older, he's an older fighter and he's younger than Booker, is not the kind of guy to give a defensive effort, though. He will be aggressive tonight, and certainly that will be interesting. And, we talked about Kuzza, Albert, at the beginning, and we talked about his development as he's getting to be a a top heavyweight and moving ahead. One of the things he hasn't always shown is power. So it's interesting. We were talking about that with Jet Blackwell. Tonight's a night where it's an opportunity for him to do that.
And like one thing that, with Kuzza has, he kind of played around with guys a little bit. And then he's like started facing like some top tier like opponents. And he hasn't really had a chance, but he's landed some great shots, and he's combinations. He's been real. So we'll see how his power presents tonight against like who he's going against. But Kuzza definitely has a little bit of power.
He can. He does have power if he can demonstrate it. Let's go up to Mike Rogers in the center of the ring.
Now entering the ring in the blue corner from Lexington, Tennessee, the Tennessee bad boy, Nathan Bedwell.
And the matchup is there. Fernando Kuzza and Nathan Bedwell. And this should be an intriguing fight. We're going to find out a little bit more about Fernando Kuzza and see what Nathan Bedwell coming in here off a little bit of a layoff, what he has in the tank.
Want to see if he actually wants to come out right now.
We're waiting. We're still awaiting him.
There he comes.
There he comes. Here comes Nathan Bedwell, 37-year-old. A journeyman heavyweight who always gives a yeoman's effort in all of his fights, and he sprints in the ring.
Now entering in the red corner, fighting out of Nashville, Tennessee, by the way of Guantanamo, Cuba, Fernando, the legend, Kuzza.
We'll see what Kuzza we're going to get right here. If he's going to be a smiling one, or if he's going to be like a stone face.
He's kind of mercurial in that regard. He has different looks in terms of that regard from an emotional standpoint. And he comes out undefeated heavyweight from Cuba, who is here in the United States now, of course, and he is a fighter that many people believe at the age of 25 has a big upside, and he is in the team boxing league. He has 9-4 in that league where you fight individual rounds on each night, and he's with the Nashville Snatch team, and he's hoping tonight to do some smashing against Nathan Bedwell. There you see Bedwell. I mentioned 37. He's actually a 34-year-old, and he is getting ready to do battle against a younger man and a top prospect.
Tonight we want to introduce the promoter of the 39th edition of Country Box, Nashville's own promoter extraordinaire, the one, the only Mr. Jimmy Adams, and his wife Ashley Adams. We also would like to please give a warm welcome to Mr. Freeway Ricky Ross in the house. We would like to recognize tonight the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by the daughter of Jimmy and Ashley. Please welcome Aila Adams as she does the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic of which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Good job. At least I know now it wasn't just me. And now our anthem, please welcome the national anthem sung by Kish Moody.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Our main event of the evening is presented by Jimmy Adams Promotions and Murder Cigars by Edward Crowe. Scheduled for 8 rounds in the heavyweight division. Ladies and gentlemen, the judges are ready, the officials are ready, the boxers are ready. Nashville, are you ready? Is the main event. Introducing first, in the blue corner, he weighed in at 235 pounds, a veteran of 30 professional fights, with 7 of his wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Lexington, Tennessee, please welcome the Tennessee bad boy, Nathan Bedwell. And in the red corner, he weighed in at 242.2 pounds. He has an undefeated record of 8 wins, no losses, and 3 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Nashville, Tennessee, by way of Guantanamo, Cuba. Please welcome Fernando, the legend, Kuzza.
All right, boxers. Trunks are good. I'll let you work in here, Nate, okay? They're a little high. Remember, protect yourselves at all times. Listen to my commands at all times. Any questions? Touch gloves. Come out swinging.
Now, if you notice, there is a little bad blood between these two guys. They were scheduled to fight before and had an encounter. And then at the weigh-in, Kuzza kind of created another one by pushing Bedwell. And so they have had their moments with each other. We'll see how that translates into what they do in the ring.
Yeah, and I've talked to a manager that used to use or a matchmaker that used to use Bedwell back in the day. He said, "Do not let that record fool you. He used to be hell on wheels, and he's going to look for it one more time." But there's a big right hand from Kuzza that might change that.
Yeah, that's a good beginning for Kuzza. Of course, Bedwell, the little southpaw. We've seen him before in other fights get nailed with that straight right hand, and early on, Kuzza manages to get that done.
Those first rounds could be so dangerous. Now we talk about Bedwell, who's been in there with everyone. His debut, we said at the Open, was Sergey Kovalev, and he said since then he's never been afraid of anybody.
Yeah, that's a tough opener.
He's also 10 pounds under Kovalev in that fight, so he's not, too unaccustomed to be the smaller man. Kuzza's having his way so far.
And it's one thing about Kuzza. I know he doesn't have a whole lot of finishes. But his hand speed and his power, I see him shake up a lot of fighters. But then he's and there's of course his 7th fight. He wants to keep going rounds. That's how he kind of fights. He'll save a guy and stop pulling, stop punching. just so he can keep going rounds.
Well, he landed a good right hand a moment ago, and Bedwell spending a lot of time on the ropes, which I suspect is not what they really want him to do.
Kuzza tried to get a little bit of an angle right there, and kind of was a little slow on it, and Bedwell was able to duck under it, but Kuzza making the adjustment going down to the body right after.
Bedwell landing, throwing a looping left hand, which he does, and a looping right hook. They didn't get there against Kuzza. Kuzza doing good body work, which he's capable of doing.
Yeah, and you see Bedwell's got a tall task in front of him, literally in the form of Kuzza. And he's going to have to try and, get in close like he's doing and smother in those shots. Is what Kuzza's coming in on the inside a little right here.
Kuzza, of course, a member of the Cuban national team, so well-schooled. When you can say you're on that team, you're a well-schooled fighter, and he is. Good jab by Bedwell. He doesn't throw it that much, but when he does, it can be an effective punch.
And there's Bedwell kind of showing a little bit of little gestures in there. Now Kuzza is trying to shoot that right hand down low or in that uppercut to where Bedwell's ducking down.
Yeah, well, look at Bedwell's face right now. It's
moments to go here in round number 1 of this 8-rounder, and it was dominated by Kuzza, who wants to throw another one, it looks like, but he doesn't.
Yep. Well, even before this fight right here, they kind of had a moment with each other where they stared at each other. It's like, what are they going to do, fight? They waited till right now, and here you see this replay. This might be that early right hand coming from Kuzza, and there it is. Undercut or uppercut a little bit more coming under that guard. And then right here is that left hook following him. That one was more of a slap. And there's Bedwell, what he's going to try and do this fight, just kind of duck his head down low, try and close that distance anyway, anyhow.
Yeah, you can look at what Bedwell's face already right now, with the nice mark on it. It's just one thing, and it's like I said, you can get a smiling Kuzza, or you can get one that's straight face and it's get pissed off, and he can finish. Right now he's kind of a talking, kind of smiling Kuzza, but he has the skills to finish people, but then he doesn't want to sometimes.
He has 3 stoppages in his 8 professional fights. He has 8 wins, of course. Last fight we mentioned before was his win over Rydell Booker, who you just saw. That was on September 2nd. Again, the 7th time we're seeing him on Country Box. He's a staple here.
As you see Bedwell, he's got a little, I want to say, not quite a temper, but he's definitely got some fire in him, and he's letting them know right here. I'm not sure if Kuzza can quite understand what he's saying.
Yeah, that's what I've been thinking.
There is a language barrier, but he understands. He might understand what he's saying, but he knows the point of it. We'll see if Bedwell can do some offensive work now to back that up. Good body work. Wow, now that is some good combination punching with authority by Kuzza, and he is capable of being a very good combination puncher from time to time. He's not a volume puncher, but when he puts those combinations together, they're very effective.
Yes. Now Bedwell's got a little bit of power now. He is moving up to heavyweight here tonight, or not tonight, but he started off at those lower weights. He's got 8 wins, 7 of those coming by stoppage. The last of those in 2023.
Kuzza ripping downstairs and doing a good job to the body, and now mixing in the uppercuts on the inside. Halfway through round number 2 in this 8-rounder, and Fernando Kuzza continues to have his way. Oh. And there goes Bedwell down.
He's talking to him. That's a good straight right hand, kind of going down to where Bedwell was ducking down. And Bedwell acknowledged it right away.
Well, Kuzza's right hand is a good one, and
we'll see right here if he's going to stop it.
Yeah, I mean, this is the Kuzza, he has that potential almost in every fight except probably Booker, because how seasoned it is, but we could definitely see Kuzza doing this. But
see right here, Bedwell's looking around. He's killing some time though.
Yeah, well, because his mouthpiece went out, and he's bought some time, but I don't know how effective it's going to be. A point is being deducted, probably because of the mouthpiece being spit out. And so that makes this a 10-6 round, I think, when you count the 2 knockdowns and the point deduction. It may be academic because it's very possible this fight's going to end very soon. And down goes Bedwell, and it's very. This is.
The corner should stop it. Yes, I was going to say the corner should stop it.
So Fernando Kuzza gets the victory, and even though they're not the best of friends, there's a little hug at the end. That's not bad. And Kuzza, while this fight was less of a challenge, he was able to get the job done.
Yeah, you'll see the straight right hand went right to where Bedwell was ducking into. Pushed Bedwell against the ropes, and he was able to follow him. Bedwell wasn't really, he had that little layoff as well. And he was overmatched tonight against Kuzza, and Kuzza did his job. Could only beat what's in front of you, and he did the trick in 2 rounds.
And that's the thing, like people, you look at Kuzza's only finisher, think he doesn't have power. I've watched this guy since he was, for his second fight. Yeah. And he has power. He just plays with his opponents, and he continues to talk. So
now we'll see a little bit of stuff going on in the ring right here between the 2 teams.
Yeah, I mean he just beat the guy. He just needs to. He's like, hey, this guy freaking lost.
Yeah.
I mean he took a whipping. The guy's Kuzza's a very highly talented fighter.
I think Kuzza's saying for the dads to fight right now.
Oh, gosh. I think they just need to leave that, let that out. I'm just glad Hermes Orta is not here because he would be over there. We have to deal with a whole nother fight.
The winner by technical knockout at 2 minutes and 58 seconds of the second round, Fernando the Legend Kuzza.
Well, Fernando Kuzza gets the win here tonight, and we're going to be interviewing him for your benefit as well as folks watching us around the world. And you're going to help us out. You're going to here, and we'll get Fernando. Can you turn around that way? There you go. There. So the thing I want to ask him about is to put against Bedwell. What was it that made him able to do that and get the stoppage in this one?
Tú pusiste golpe fuerte contra Bedwell. ¿Qué fue lo que te dio la confianza para atacarlo con esa ofensiva?
Yo soy un boxeador que altamente 100%, puedo decir 200% confío en mí, dentro y fuera del ring.
He's a fighter that when he's 100% confident in and out the ring, the result's going to come by itself.
He's had great development over the course of the last 5 or 6 fights. What does he think completely?
¿Qué tú crees lo que has hecho? ¿Cuál es el resultado que te ha hecho para hacerte ver como un peso completo, que estás listo para el que sea?
Bueno, primero que todo comer, prepararme, ¿sabes? Y después entrenar, disciplina, con hambre. La hambre es lo que te prepara.
He's hungry, he's disciplined, he's ready for everything.
Nathan Bedwell, he and Nathan Bedwell, words in general that play any role in it.
Cuando tú discutiste con él, con Nathan Bedwell, ¿eso te motivó más para noquearlo o no?
La motivación viene de mi colectivo de trabajo.
His motivation from his teamwork and all the effort they put in.
All right, now, what does he think in terms of moving up the ladder in the heavyweight division, and how far does he think away from fighting a top contender?
¿Dónde tú crees que estás ahora mismo en este punto para pelear con los mejores de los pesos completos?
Ahora mismo no sé dónde estoy, pero sí sé para dónde voy.
He said right now he don't know where he's at, but he knows where he's heading.
So does he look at weights above him and think, boy, that's somebody I'd like to fight?
¿Tú has mirado algún peso completo que te gustaría enfrentarlo o algo?
Yo no soy bocón. Yo solamente estoy haciendo mi carrera y va a llegar el momento en que voy a enfrentar a los campeones y grandes atletas.
He said he keep doing his work. He's moving up little by little on the ladder, and he's ready for any challenge.
All right, last question. You are he's a staple here at Country Box, and these fans in there come to really love him. What does it mean for him fighting on Country Box? He's helped make this series special.
¿Qué tanto te gusta a ti pelear aquí en Country Box, que esta es tu casa? ¿Cómo tú te sientes?
Me siento bien, cada vez que peleo me siento súper bien y en forma, porque eso es lo que me da la preparación para hacer lo que quiero y lo que me diga mi entrenador arriba del ring.
He's happy, he loved the crowd, he's happy to be here and be part of it.
All right, well, they love him too. Congratulations, Fernando. So, Fernando Kuzza get win in our main event. Capping off a good night of boxing here in a new location at the Plaza Mariachi, where it's a great set, fantastic, and we've had a lot of fun. For my broadcast partners, Albert Hainsworth and Justin Brown, and for our great production crew who helped bring this to all of you, we'll see you next time on Country Box.
Well, I feel tears welling up, calling deep inside, like my heart's from a big break. In the stab of loneliness, sharp and painful, I may never change. You might say that I was tickling hard when you wrote me off of the call. Don't you wager that I'll hide in sorrow, I may lay right down and fall. Well, the race is on and here comes pride in the backstretch. Heartaches are going to the inside. My tears are holding back, trying not to fall. My heart's out of the running, true love stretch for the seal. The race is on, it looks like heartache, and the winner loses all. One day I ventured in love, never once suspecting what the final results would be. How I lived in fear, waking up each morning, thinking that you're gone to leave. Was aching and draining my heart for the day, for the one that I hated to face. Somebody new came up, the winner went up in 14th place. Well, the race is on and here comes pride in the backstretch. Heartaches are going to the inside. My tears are holding back, trying not to fall. My heart's out of the running, true love stretch for another seal. The race is on and it looks like heartache.